For those select few that are already initiated, you should already know what this is. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. See, we're gonna get down to the other stuff here in a second. But what I'm always trying to get everybody to understand is everything is vibration. So, before we do anything else, just vibe.
JP Productions.
Everything is vibration. Yo. Just let it seep in. We're gonna take just a few minutes to let a few people trickle in, and then we're gonna get down to the nitty-gritty. And today, the nitty-gritty is gonna consist of us touching on the transits and elaborating on the aspects. And then it's all about conversation, because with the moon in Gemini now, conversation does rule the nation. Vibe. Yo.
JP Productions.
I'm just fly in real life. Just let it seep in. Let me get this off. Oh, we good now. Bye. Yeah. Who better than me to come through when the moon is in Gemini and save you from your boredom? Because boredom means trouble. And I'm not a fan of Mondays or the mundane.
JP Productions.
Bye. Shout out to JP, man. If you haven't smiled yet today, this is my personal invitation for you to do so. Like right now. Renaissance of consciousness. What it was, cuz. How you doing? Y'all. Vibing for real. How was y'all's weekend? Renaissance of consciousness. Welcome to the Vibe Tribe. You are now a part of the PrIcElEs family. Howdy. How you doing? Still hot, I see. I see you. Yo. Fine. What y'all want to talk about today, other than the transits, which we're of course going to touch on? It's an open conversation today. It's not just questions and answers, but it's an open conversation. Hey, my boy Felinio was cracking. Shit. Heather Nielsen, the commissioner of the Vibe Tribe, is in the motherfucking house. It's got to be a good day. Smile right now. Yeah. We can vibe, but we can get into some real gangster shit. And I don't think you want that. Not with me. Fine. You didn't have to confirm it at all, fam. That's the problem. I said the name, you confirmed it. But I got you though. That like roll calling and you say, oh, that's me. It's thousands of people that watch this. It's all right. If you knew better, you'd do better. Now you know better, it'll go better. You feel me? I might talk fly to you, but I ain't gonna never lie to you, famo. Yeah. The moon is in Gemini. You gotta watch them isms. Plus, motherfuckers gonna be telling your business. Yeah. Just a few more minutes, man. And then we gonna go off in it. Oh, yeah, I like that vibe. Make sure y'all hit the like button as you come in this door. And in doing so, understand this is not about ego. Oh no. This is about algorithm. This just helps us expand the platform. That way, if you're not trying to hear what I'm trying to say, at least we can get out to the next motherfucker who is. Yeah. Before we do anything else, we got to make sure that we're in the right environment. See, with the moon in Gemini, the environment that you're in is key. It's going to be influential to your emotional expressions. So I'm here to set the tone. We're going to keep it cool. Nothing too serious. Y'all. Watkins Cat House knows. Yeah. Heather Nielsen knows. How do you know? Yeah, you know. Yeah. This is not about ego. This is about algorithm. Speaking of which, astrology and numerology are just the algorithm of your existence written out. In the stars and in the energetic components that make up the numbers that make up you. Yeah. It's your genetic coding. It's not even just your genetic coding, it's your coding in this game we're playing. Yeah. You know how in the Matrix they could watch the screen and see through the coding what Neo was doing? That's my gift. I can look at your code and know what the fuck you got going on. I can teach you too. Huh? Yeah. We on that slick shit. You gotta be careful. With the sun in Scorpio and with the moon in Gemini, motherfuckers liable to be on that slick shit. Manipulation is definitely in the air. Don't get taken for a sucker. Because that's your fault. Now let's talk about it. So, as we speak at this moment presently, the sun sits at 7 degrees of Scorpio. So, things are more intense. Things do hit a little bit more deep. But, you do have to be careful because there is a sneaky energy in the air. You don't know who's creeping, who's watching, who's hating, who wants it, who needs it, who will take it. Yeah. Things just hit deeper. Now, you do have to be aware of ulterior motives. Okay? And with the sun coming into an opposition with Jupiter in Taurus, things are operating at extremes. I mean at extremes, and you have to be careful. You don't want to be the one doing too much. And it could easily be you. Yeah. with this whole Scorpio stellium sitting in an opposition to Jupiter, life is operating at extremes. You take it too far, you could die. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, and I don't want to rip the skin off the Band-Aid off the motherfucking scab, pardon me. But I do want to say, we already know what happens when the toxicology reports comes back for Matthew Perry, the Friends star. He got a little too out of there in that jacuzzi. Took it too far, lost his life. See, that's the danger of the opposition between Taurus and Scorpio. Overindulge to your detriment, to your destruction. Or don't do anything at all and miss out on the intensity and the feeling and the power that comes from this expression. It's very interesting energy out here. Look what happened with all the people that have been killed over the last week or two. Scorpio season don't play. About the last week, really. With shooting sprees here in America in different places. With parties getting shot up. With the celebrity death. With the war, like, motherfuckers dying out here. Scorpio season reminds you that this shit is life or death out here. It is that intense. Yeah. That's the truth. Unadulterated. Unfiltered. This game out here is for keeps during Scorpio season. When you're playing with people's emotions, when you're playing with your own or other people's possessions. When it comes to jealousy. When it comes to people's feelings, I'm telling you, they're going to take it to the extreme. And Mars is in Scorpio, so it's going to be ruthless, the reaction that comes from it. And this is still a feminine energy. Scorpio is still a feminine energy, even though Mars is there, and people can't forget that. So it's the reaction that's most dangerous. It's the response that'll kill you. Yeah. This is toxicity at its finest. And with the moon in Gemini, this shit is real toxic. I ain't gonna lie to you. This ain't even a good energy. It can be fun. It can be prosperous. It can be interesting. It can be intense. It can be chaotic, but it ain't gonna be good. And what I mean by good, I mean virtuous. It's mischievous. It's manipulative. It's extreme and exploitive. Can you handle it? This is just my type of shit. Yeah, I like it. I have the sun conjunct my Pluto in the first house and trying my sun and my moon. So I'm in my element. This is my natural operating environment. And then the moon is now in my 8th house, creeping towards my black moon Lilith. So the shadow within me is operating on its own. Now, I need like 3 more of y'all to hit the like button before I get mad and go home. Yeah. Coming through like a phantom. Now, like I said, with the sun opposite to Jupiter, overindulgence could get you into some major trouble. Taking it too far could end up taking you to the brink of no return. You might not be able to come back. Understand that. You might want to chill. You might want to chill. Use Jupiter and Taurus to chill the fuck out. Because if you overindulge, you take it too far, you're out of there. Now, let's talk about the moon. Because the moon now sits at 0 degrees of Gemini. So, first of all, with the moon in Gemini, the environment that you place yourself in is extremely important to the emotional expression that you're experiencing. It's going to affect you emotionally. So if you're around some bullshit, best believe you're going to become emotionally involved. But more than all that other bullshit I could tell you about the moon being in Gemini, let me tell you about the moon being in Gemini. That's a problem. Boredom. When the moon is in Gemini, when motherfuckers get bored, trouble ensues. There's a mischievousness that kicks in. And the Scorpio nature on the other end of this is just gonna instigate it. It's just gonna instigate it. Now, the moon is square to Saturn, so you can find yourself all over the place emotionally. You can find yourself not knowing how to feel. You can find yourself really paranoid for no motherfucking reason. Breathe. Breathe. Let it vibe. Now, just breathe. You hear him saying breathe? Let that vibe hit you. You have to find some type of way to get a hold on this frenetic energy with the moon square to Saturn, and this being Gemini and Pisces. You gotta make sure you're in the right environment. You gotta make sure you're in the right mindset. That means you gotta make sure you're around the right people and you're observing the right things. Like any bullshit can throw you off, fuck you up. Every bullshit is gonna throw you off and fuck you up. It's chaotic. But when the energy gets chaotic, be chaos. Yeah. Be chaos. Listen to me. Now, let's talk about Mercury. Because Mercury is now operating at 13 degrees of Scorpio. So, with this right here, this is an incredibly probing and investigative energy. But people are actually going to know how to hide that peevish probing that's going on behind the scenes. It's actually very interesting. You never know what's really going on in people's minds, but they're really wondering what's going on yours. And half the time, they might already know. They just want to know what you're going to say, what lie you going to tell, what bullshit you going to spew. And with the moon in Gemini, people going to be spewing bullshit. I've already done it before, but I might have to do it again. When it comes to lying, I might have to make another lying list because I've done it years ago. I made a top 5 worst liar, or when I say worst liars, I don't mean they're not good at it. I mean they lie the most, or they're the worst liars in different ways. Because some lie the most, some are the best liars. So there's different ways to see it in the list. But the top 5 liars are always going to be, of course, Gemini, Libra, Cancer, Leo, Scorpio. And people say, Scorpio? Yeah, Scorpio. Scorpio, yeah, they like to fuck with your mind. So, I'm telling you now, you have to be aware of the manipulation. People are also going to be more aware of your manipulation. Nobody's going to take anybody's word for it. They want to know what more there is to it, and even why you're even expressing that in the first place. What type of person would say those type of things? What made you that type of person? You feel me? It gets that deep. Oh, now I get it. Now Mercury is conjunct to Mars. So those mistrustful thoughts, so that desire, that will, it has action behind it. It's actually dangerous. You play with the wrong person right now, you might get fucked up. Even die. That's the truth. Something as simple as a lie might cost you more than you actually have to offer. That doesn't mean you're gonna just get killed, you know, from it. But I'm telling you, this is a very different energy out here. It's a very different energy out here. This Scorpio stellium is very masculine in its expression, but it's still very reactionary because Scorpio is a feminine energy. You have the Sun, Mercury, Mars. The 3 closest masculine expressions that there are, or the 3 strongest influences, even if you don't believe in space per se. Because there's some people that believe in astrology but don't actually believe in space. And I actually am one of those people that consider that sometimes. I think about the names and the energies that are involved when I think about astrology, and I think it's relative to something. But as far as outer space goes, I'm still not sure that there is an outer space, or if there is, if we ever been there, or what the fuck it is. You know. I use those names for explanations of energies. Exactly, Renaissance of consciousness. I don't know what to believe with that. So what I do is I understand what the energy of Jupiter does, and that's how it works with me. I understand what the energy of the moon does, and that's what I see it, and I understand the influence that it has on me. I what's up, Katie West? I see and understand the influence that Mars and Venus and Saturn even has. And I understand because I've been going through Saturn conjunct to my moon, and I know what they say Saturn is, it is, and so much more. But also, that doesn't mean that the explanation of where that energy comes from is honest. So for me, I just look at it as a name or a title for that energy that I'm explaining. The energy I'm explaining is called Saturn. I'm not actually talking about the planet Saturn with the rings that they somehow have taken pictures of. And I understand a telescope can see them. A very strong telescope can see Saturn and Jupiter and all of that. But I mean, what are you really seeing? And when they say they've been there, that's actually a blatant a blatant disrespect to your intelligence as a person from what they have fundamentally supposedly instilled as you as intelligence. Because we have yet to achieve the speed of light. Saturn, Jupiter, all of those things are through the asteroid belt millions of miles away. Millions on millions of miles away. So there's no way, since the advent of the technology, have they been able to shoot off any device that got that close enough to take pictures of them. And with the nature of what they are supposed to be that they have explained to us in school, there's no way that this thing got close enough to this planet or black hole or asteroid or whatever without being destroyed by the energy it's giving off or the gravity that comes from it. That's bullshit. A lot of the shit they tell you is bullshit to occupy you. And it doesn't mean that they're not able to do amazing things. It just means a lot of the shit they tell you is bullshit. So in order to separate myself from the bullshit, and that doesn't mean there's not some stuff I believe. I just don't know what to believe. So with me being the person that has a questioning mind, interesting that we have Mercury and Scorpio that we're speaking on this. With me having this questioning mind that I have, and me not being the type of person that just believes anything. My grandfather was the pastor of the church, and I spent half of my life when I was young until he passed away looking upside his head like, bro, you know you full of shit. And so, dealing with all of this stuff, fundamentally, I'm just the type of person that questions things. And so when I don't have a definitive answer that I can tell you, and nobody really knows, there's nobody that can tell you the truth. All you can do is find what you believe inside of yourself. Funny that Neptune is in Pisces, and I always tell you all this as we go through this retrograde energy of Neptune in Pisces also. But with this right here, I just more or less, I'm like, man, I don't know what to believe. So what I'm going to do is believe in what I know. And I know what the energies do astrologically. Okay? Now, the astronomy of it is something I don't understand because I understand what the equations are and how they can explain it to me, but they cannot make me believe that NASA or something from Earth has actually got to these places and done the things that they've said they've done if the nature of these bodies are what they say the nature of these bodies are. Because that's a direct contradiction. And so instead of me sitting here going crazy with that shit, I just kind of don't allow myself to go there. And so I know the energies, but I don't know the astronomy. And that's the truth. Now, Katie West, she said, am I going through a Saturn conjunct moon in the solar return chart or the transit? In transit. in a true transit. Been going through it since February, January. Since fucking January. It's the worst fucking transit I've ever experienced. But it's not just, I mean, I've told y'all before I go any further, it's not just conjunct to my moon. It's conjunct to my moon, trine my sun in Pluto, square my Saturn, sextile my Neptune. While at the same time, Pluto is opposite my Mercury and square my nodes while I'm in a nodal return, while Uranus is in my 8th house, sextile to my Jupiter. Like, I just got a lot of shit going on. Everything is on my ass. Like, and I've been dealing with it for months now. And I thought I was dying at first. But now, you know, I realize I just need to face things head on. I need to emotionally mature. And even if I was in that mode of operation, like I need to understand that, you know, there's no way to escape that. There's nothing. So sitting up here stressing about it is robbing me of my life. Sitting up stressing about any of that shit is just, all I did was make myself physically sick. With Saturn will go into my 6th. It's in my 5th house. So I haven't enjoyed life, but now it goes into my 6th house. And I've actually started having some minor health issues as this went over because of me stressing so much. And so just dealing with this shit, you know, dealing with what's real and what isn't, with Saturn being in Pisces in conjunct to my moon, and, you know, not having those coping mechanisms like alcohol that I had before, because that would just make me sicker. Me not being able to eat the way I was, me really having to change my habits. And then also me being able to find a way to be creative again and enjoy life. And what's interesting is, I know I said before that Saturn doesn't give gifts, and it really doesn't give gifts. You earn them. But I do want to say that as I came back out of my shell when I was dealing with that, because, you know, I wasn't going live very much. I went live maybe once a week. Sometimes I would go a week or two because I was in, you know, different rooms all over the country, handling business, trying to take care of another situation. And then I also, since I was here, I didn't feel good. So there was times where I wasn't able to come live, right? And so business, you know, y'all saw me even up until a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, I was like, business is so slow, like, boom. But as I started getting creative and I started coming back live consistently, and I started working again, and I started, you know, coming up with different ways, and I started being consistent, I saw things start to flourish. As I came out of my shell and I started once again having fun and enjoying myself, I started to feel better. You know, I still have digestive issues now that I know I created with my stress, but I know I'm not fucking dying from it, which y'all know before I was worried about that. Like, no, I just have fucked up digestive issues, which I created, which means I can't eat or drink or do a lot of the things that I did before. And that sucks, but I shouldn't have put myself in that position. So it's all about emotionally maturing, learning to deal with things, because you can't stop life. You can't stop death. So sitting up worrying about it, especially when it's something like that is in your 5th house, like Saturn, sitting up worrying about it ain't doing nothing but robbing you of enjoying your life, and then eventually making you sick. And so I just went through I'm still going through it, because Saturn's still going to come back and conjunct my moon. I might have some bad days again coming up. Saturn retrograded away from my moon. It conjuncted my moon, then it retrograded back away from my moon. Now it's going to touch it one final time. And then it might come back and touch it again next year in retrograde, at the very end of the retrograde. But it is what it is. I had Pluto square to my nodes, and that's what scared me, had me thinking I was dying. Because I'm in a nodal return, and then Pluto is square my nodes. And even more than Saturn conjunct my moon, it was like, man, Kayana, you got to just send me a message. We'll talk about it. Send me an email. We'll talk about it. So it's just like that, and then me being an astrologer and being aware of Pluto being square to my nose while I'm in a nodal return, and then Uranus being in my 8th house. I let my own knowledge, my own gifts scare me. And there's Saturn in the 5th house too. Saturn and Pisces in the 5th house. I let my own gifts scare the shit out of me. The things that I usually use to help myself, and to, you know, that are my saving grace, and that I love. My moon in Pisces is my favorite placement. In my 5th house, I really enjoy life. I've been able to really enjoy life. And my Jupiter and Pisces in my 6th house is something I really enjoy too. But now Saturn is conjuncting both of them, or it's conjunct my moon now, and then gonna conjunct my Jupiter in my 6th house next year. So I'm gonna have to, you know, really assess what I do and how I do it, because for me, my own fears have created issues. It wasn't, I was never sick. I never had anything wrong. Nothing has been bad this year, except my sister dying. My sister died, and then I got into this operation, this mode of operation in my brain where all I thought about was negative things. And I was so paranoid and so scared. And I got into a crazy place, and I was able to hide it for a little bit with y'all. But even when I came on live with y'all, y'all would see me the whole time. I would just talk about being sick, or I would talk about, you know, I would spend an hour maybe. I would start with the transits, and then I would just start going off about being fucked up and being worried and this and this and this. And so I just had to get into a space where I was all right. You know what I mean? And to where I didn't think every fucking ache and pain that I had was killing me. I lost a whole bunch of weight and all that shit, because not because I was sick, but because I was fucked up. Because it's not because I was sick, but it's because I was scared. All of this stuff happened because I was scared. None of this stuff happened because I was sick or my life was fucked up. Everything that's happened to me over the last year, except my sister passing away, is because I'm scared. My life is the way it is right now because I'm scared. Because I lived life in fear for months. Crippling fear. When at the end of the day, I can't really help any of the situation. I just had to get right. And see, that's what Saturn in Pisces is doing. And we're just going to skip over that. Saturn in Pisces is making a lot of people, whether they're in their Saturn return, or Saturn is conjuncting something in their chart, or Saturn is a strongly aspect of something in their chart. Saturn in Pisces really is making a lot of people have to deal with life, deal with feelings. Right now with the retrograde, you have to learn how to deal with the fear, deal with the feelings. Life is not going to stop lifing. People are going to die. The economy's going to be bad. You're going to get sick. You could die. Like, there's all kinds of shit that could happen. That's just a part of fucking life. You can't fucking live life scared of that shit. You can't do drugs to avoid it. You can't escape life. You can't, like, that's just not it. You have to learn how to be with yourself and deal with yourself, deal with your feelings, so that you can grow emotionally. And that gives you a maturity that really allows you to bless yourself, but you got to earn it. And that's where I'm at, in the middle of this. That's the truth of it all. This shit is not fun at all, but I'm also seeing my business flourish right now in ways it hasn't. I've seen the channel grow in ways, like, y'all seen that. Like, the channel, some of y'all are new here, so y'all don't even understand. The channel is grown. And it's not that we didn't have thousands before, but the interaction has grown exponentially. You can tell by the haters that come in here and the trolls that come all the time. My books are filled up. You know, I have people asking me about tutoring and and without question paying what it's worth. And that's something that's important to my Saturn in my 2nd house. So a lot of this is really big time. You know, a lot of this has been big time growth-oriented things going on for me. But it ain't been fun. This has been the hardest year of my life. And nothing has happened. Nothing has happened. That's what's crazy. Before I put my glasses back on, because I'm going to put them back on, because these lights mess with me a little bit. They end up giving me a headache. But straight up, I found my mama dead when I was 13. My daddy was a crackhead and sexually inappropriate and exploitive. I won't say assaultive or abusive, which he was abusive, but it wasn't assaultive, which means he didn't do stuff to me, but he allowed stuff to happen, and he put me in situations, and he forced things, and he manipulated things. He did fucked up shit. But having a dad like that, I mean, I went through some shit. I went to prison in Texas for 7 years of my life. I picked cotton with my bare hands for 3 whole years. I'm talking about pick cotton like a fucking slave. No, I was a slave, because in Texas you don't get paid. Texas is the only state where they don't pay their inmates. In Texas, you get what's called good time. But when you make parole, they take away your good time, so it really don't count for nothing. It's not like if you get to the end of your good time, if you stay in there and don't choose parole, that you're going to get out. That's not how it works out. You're going to get what's called to a mandatory release date, where they make you take parole, even if you don't want parole. And they're going to kick you out so that you can be on parole, so they can bring you right back and get some more money out your ass. Recidivism. But that's beside the fact. I pick up fucking cotton. But I'm telling you now, through all of that shit, this has been the hardest year of my life. And nothing has fucking happened. It's just the fear. Still to this day. Waking up every day, wondering if I'm okay, if my stomach is gonna feel all right, or if I really just been fooling myself and I am really fucked up and sick, or if like every day it's still like that. So it's a motherfucker, man. It's a motherfucker. For real. Now, back to the transits, man. I went out for a second. What's up, Beats by Blizzo Now Music? You know? Yeah, you know, I was on a prison unit that they call Burn in Hell. That's the name. That's not the real name of it. It's Clemens Unit down in Brazoria, Texas, down by the coast. But they call it Burn in Hell. And it's the system, it's the prison where they send all the YOPs. It's the Youthful Offender Program. It's all the kids that got tried as adults. And so now they are all these little hard-head ass, teenage ass kids that are put over there. And I wasn't a kid that got tried as an adult. I got sent there as a trustee. And I actually ended up, as soon as I got there, they looked at my tattoos and said, oh, you're a gang member. And I am, or I was then. And so when that happened, they put me on gang file, and they told me I couldn't even be on the trustee camp, even though that's where they shipped me for, and then put me in there with the gorillas. And so, you know, I had to get it how I live. But all of that is just a part of that process. But back to the transits, though, for real. Let's talk about Venus being at 20 degrees of Virgo. So people going to be pickier than ever. What people want is perfection. And the only thing that's not available is perfection. So that causes irritation. So the only way for a person to achieve balance is the avoidance of all intimacy. Or for themselves to put in some type of service. So they'll be there to help you. It's reliable. But that don't mean they want you. It's not an affection or a loving energy. It's rational and reliable. You heard it here first. Now. Let's talk about Mars. No, let's first talk about Venus, because I forgot Venus is still trying to Uranus for a few more days. It hasn't even got exact yet. So let me tell you about Venus trying to Uranus. First of all, this is Venus and Virgo trying to Uranus and Taurus. So there might be some unique opportunity for you to prosper in some way. You might come up on some type of money just in living your everyday life or taking care of the details or just grinding. You might actually come up real fast. I know I'm trying to. And I'm working hard. I need that. All right. But this also tells me that from a sexual tip, there's this energy out here, even taking away the sign of it, and you just look at Venus being trying to Uranus, that's very liberal. Like, people want to do what they want to do with who they want to do it with without judgment. That's Venus trying to Uranus. And they cool with you doing it like that. I appreciate the PayPal love, Kayana. They cool with you doing it like that. That's the truth. And there's just going to be some unique opportunities to profit. There's going to be some unique opportunities to enjoy yourself. People are going to have a more exotic taste than usual. But there's also this thing where if you just take care of the details and play it safe, you will get blessed. Because it is, even though it's Venus and Uranus, is still Virgo and Taurus. So there is a certain element of, hey, keep doing what you've been always doing, and you might actually see something unique happen. Even though you're just doing what you've always been doing and taking care of what you always take care of, you could still see some type of opportunity open up for you, or if not, some way for you to profit or prosper. Yeah. So I appreciate that, for real. You hear me? Now, I appreciate y'all. Jupiter is sitting at 11 degrees of Taurus now. And with this right here, first of all, let's just first consider the fact that Jupiter in Taurus, in its own way, is very patient, very calm, virtuous. It's generous. Now, when you add the retrograde into there, it's not going to completely change up the energy, but it can make it too stubborn. It can make somebody stuck, somebody overindulgent. When somebody's overindulgent, they don't have a lot to work with. They spend too much. So they can't be as generous as they were before. People can't be as open with their money as they were before, because now they're a little bit greedier, a little bit worried about themselves. So because of that, the flow is not as free as it is usually. See, Jupiter and Taurus, and even Jupiter in the second house, the beautiful thing about that is they kind of understand that material things are easy to have. It's easy to get, so they're willing to spend on whatever. They're gonna get it back. They're gonna make it back. That Taurus energy always understands that. That's why I love Taurus energy when it comes to doing business. They don't mind spending, and it's not because they're suckers. It's because they're gonna get it back, and they pay for what things are worth. And so there's no question with that. Never a question. I've never told my prices to anybody with prominent Taurus energy, and they say, well, you got it. They never asked for a deal. They never question it. They never try. It's just boom. Sometimes they pay extra. Leo too. There's a certain loyalty and value that come with those placements. But with Jupiter here, people can be greedier. They're spending a little bit more on themselves, a little bit more overindulgent, so they don't have as much to give. Understand that? And also, when you're so worried about what you're receiving and you're so worried about what's going out, people gonna be fucked up. And so the flow is not free. And that right there is a problem in its own right. That makes people not want to pay what things are worth. That makes for people want to renege on deals. That makes people, but it's all right. They can stay broke. You hear me? Yeah. Unless you have some type of money in an account, which is not dormant money. That's money that is appreciating with value. That's something that's creating an interest. So this is not what I'm talking about. But dormant money, when you just are saving what you have and you just got money tucked away under a mattress, that money's not gaining value. You're not, and eventually you're gonna end up taking from that, especially if you don't have something that is adding to it constantly. If there's not something that's flowing in with that, because bills are gonna come. There's no way for you to live in this economy and be totally self-sufficient. And in order for you to ever be totally self-sufficient, like even live off the grid like that and be a person who lived entirely off energy that you are generating, you still would have to buy the equipment to be able to do so. There's nothing free. And you're still gonna have to pay for Wi-Fi or pay for like you have to pay for something. That's the truth. You're going to have to pay for something. I appreciate the love, damn. That's the world we live in. So you can't sit still. You got to stay patient and keep grinding, slowly but surely. You hear me? Nobody says stop. When somebody says be patient, that doesn't mean stop what you're doing and sit still and expect somebody to hand you something. That means stay grinding, stay open to opportunity. That's what that means. It's not a tulip or an acorn. You trying to play with me? We joking? It's a tiger. It's a tiger with emeralds in the eyes. Now, let me get back to what I was doing. I can't even see what everybody's saying. Hold up, y'all. Now, we already talked about Saturn. Saturn is at 0 degrees of Pisces. And, hey. With this right here, your fears, your dreams, all of that shit can haunt you. It can scare you. Keep you from wanting to deal with life. Keep you from wanting to deal with yourself. And that's the worst fear. You gotta face the fear. You gotta say, fuck fear. Fuck resentment. Fuck doubt. Fuck addiction. Fuck avoidance behavior. Fuck escapism. No. You gotta find faith. And finding faith don't have nothing to do with going to church. Hey, let me show you. Damn, I'm finna show you. Hold up. I got you. Show these nuts. Sorry, I enjoyed that too much. But look, man. You came in here, tried to play cool at first, but then you tried to troll. But when you try to troll, you have to pay a toll. We are a vibe tribe. We are not thirsty for subscribers. You come in here with some crazy energy, you will be banned, exiled, never to be seen or heard from again. That means you can observe, but you can never participate. Never. This is a vibe. You can never be a part of it. Yeah. Yeah, you want to see an acorn. Check these testes. Yeah. Oh, I'm supposed to be spiritual. That don't mean I'm supposed to take anybody's bullshit. You feel me? I'm still a gangster. Now, I understand this pressure though. I don't know if you can handle this pressure. This right here is some gas. This right here, that gas. This is like 33%. This that living pound cake. Yeah. Now, back to what I was saying. Your usual coping mechanisms aren't going to help you right now. You have to learn how to deal with things internally. Doing that will help you grow spiritually, will help you mature emotionally. That don't mean life is just gonna get better, but it makes your experience of whatever's going on in your life better, because you're in a better place yourself. Now, speaking of which, Uranus is at 21 degrees of Taurus, retrograde until January 27th. So you ain't gonna be able to get comfortable. Oh no, you can't get comfortable. But what you can do is find a place that is stable that you can operate from. It might not even be safe, but it at least is a stable place that you can operate from. But you got to find out where that is for you individually while this is retrograde. That means taking inventory of what you got to work with and who the fuck you are and what you're willing to do with everything you have and your energy. Because you might be surprised to find that you're willing to take it places you never considered before. Or you might realize that your stubborn ways gonna keep you stuck, and when you stuck, you're gonna end up fucked up. That means everything that happens is gonna seem like chaos. It's gonna be a devastating experience. And the only devastating experience you need to look forward to is me. Yeah. With Scorpio in my first house and Gemini in my 8th house right now, I drop devastating D. I'm just playing. Y'all gonna get me in trouble, man. Don't be getting me in trouble, bro. Yeah. Something like that. Do your lips match your shirt? Mine do. But I'm just a Libra rising. Don't hate. Yeah. Anyway, back to it. Back to back to Neptune, because I guess I'm delusional. Look. Louis. Neptune is now sitting at 25 degrees of Pisces, retrograde until December 4th. So we're about 5 weeks out from Neptune going direct. So, let's look at how it's affecting you. Because the culture is one thing. It's real easy to get caught up in that. There's so many different layers to reality that it's hard to know what's real. What's real isn't what's important anymore, though. Because we know real just ain't real no more. What's important is your purpose. You find that inside of yourself. That means understanding that as new information comes in, yeah, your perspective might change, but your point of perception never has to. That means that has to come from an inner place. Let that main line to the divine be your guide. Yeah, we swagged up. I need like 5 or 6 more of y'all to hit that like button before I get mad and go home. I am a Cancer with Leo placements. I am that type. I will throw a temper tantrum. I will take my shit and leave. I will take my talents and go. Yeah. Do that for me. Let that vibe seep in. The mouth man. That's good. That's good. Welcome to the Vibe Tribe. You are now a part of the PrIcElEs family. Let me get back to this transition in energy. Bam. Now, Pluto sits at 27 degrees of Capricorn. No, matter of fact, we're now at 28 degrees of Capricorn now that I think about it. So, hey, Pluto's direct. That means hard times are here. Hard times bring about change. Change that's bred from discontent, stress, pessimism. But you can't let it eat at you. You have to let it be your muse. You can't get confused. See, Pluto's still in a sextile with Neptune, or Neptune is sextile to Pluto. That's really the correct way to say it. But with Neptune sextile to Pluto, there's a process of change going about. But that process, it could be you shutting down, you saying fuck it, falling into a self-destructive pattern, or it could be you finding your muse, refusing to be confused, refusing to lose. You decided, hey man, I'm gonna make some changes. This ain't working. This ain't worth it. They both got to go. Whether it be a relationship, whether it be a job, whether it be a person in your family, whether it be a feeling inside of yourself, whether it be a thought process. Sometimes you gotta cut some shit out of your experience. Capricorn is great at doing that. Hey man, feelings aside, this ain't working. Fuck that. Fuck that, this ain't working. It's time to do something else. Let that discontent breed change. And eventually, this will go to Pluto in Aquarius where it breeds radical change. But this right here, it starts in the gut. And then it starts to take place in the mind where people's like, man, you know what? I'm approaching this the wrong way. Yeah. But you gotta be careful. Pessimism and discontent can be addictive. It can make you sink into a depression. Yeah. That means it can end up being a hard lesson in destruction, a hard lesson in stress management, a hard lesson in hard lessons. But eventually you'll realize even the lessons are blessings. Some shit just ain't worth stressing. Message. Yeah. We vibing for real now. Can you feel it? Now, Chiron now sits at 16 degrees of Aries. So, where is 16 degrees of Aries in your chart? Wherever that is, that's an area of your life where you got to hold yourself accountable. Even in the first house, the 12th house, the 8th house, places like that. The 4th house. Misplaced aggression. Repressed anger. It's all there. All that shit right there can be destructive to you. Become aware. But being aware is not being accountable. Being aware leads to accountability. Accountability leads to action. Oh yeah. Just like that. Now we vibing for real. Let that Gemini moon talk to you. Cause that's what it's gonna do. Talk to you. Hey. But conversation rules the nation. They don't need no further explanation. Next. That right there brings us to the Black Moon Lilith. So, the Black Moon Lilith now sits at 3 degrees of Virgo. So, people gonna be over analytical, over critical, over technical. That could have people worried about the wrong thing. It could have them inefficient because the devil's in the details, and now they're stuck in hell. Yeah. Now, it's going to have people real nitpicky. It's going to have people picking at you. But the thing is, they can't take it. I don't know what the fuck they in the kitchen for, because now you picking them apart too, and now they know. See, the Black Moon Lilith in Virgo speaks to a perfect imperfection. But that takes a real rational introspection. Some people aren't capable. Now, yeah, I like that. Queenie too blessed. I'm too blessed. So neither one of us have a reason to be stressed. Now, the nodes are at 24 degrees of Aries and Libra. So you might be forced to stand up for yourself. You might be forced into a situation that you have to be assertive. You have to take action. You have to be courageous. You got to motherfucking do what you got to do for you, regardless of what anybody else thinks or regardless of what anybody else has going on. But the natural tendency is to seek refuge in other people. Seek refuge not only in their presence, but also in their opinions. No, that'll never save you. Because then you'll never be free. In order to be free, in order to be powerful, you got to do your thing unapologetically. You got to experience your truth actively. Think about it, ain't gonna do it. No, baby. You got to get it. This is the season of the go-getters. I'm gonna come back with it. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you here. And if you here and you ain't gonna hit the like button, what the fuck are you here for? What the fuck are you doing? You creeping? You hating? You swag sucking? Well, I hope you have a long throat. Yeah. Now, sorry, I had some gum that I've been having in my jaw for a long time. That right there, that brings us to the numerology of the day. And today, we're in an 11 vibration. A master number 11, to be exact, because you can't just say 11, because this is a master number for a reason, because there's a complete mastery of the number it's reduced down to. There's a double dose of the 1, and there's all of the divine qualities that come from the 2, the empathy, the balance, the understanding, but the intuition, the personality, the charisma that comes from a double dose of the 1 is also there. And then we have a 3 connotation with this. So this is one of the most talented and creative times you'll ever have. Today you should nurture your divine gifts, whatever those are. You see, I'm here with you. Yeah. Be creative. Be inspired. Live out some aspect of the divine through your emotions, through the communications of your mind. Yeah, you. Just you. So, that concludes the transits. The floor is now going to be open for anything y'all want to converse about. It's not just for questions, because I'll answer your questions, of course, but if there's anything you want to discuss in particular, I think with the moon in Gemini, this is the perfect time for us to have a open conversation. So what I'm going to do right here is go right here and blow my nose real fast and come back in about 1 minute. Well, not 1 minute, about 10 seconds. Once I blow my nose, we right. Give me a second. All right, I'm back. That fair. All right. The Mouthman, do I believe in Hindu scriptures for horoscopes? Do you mean, do I believe in Vedic astrology? Absolutely, I do. Or you mean that I'm paying attention to the Sanskrit? Absolutely. What's still shot of the live? Or are you talking about the thumbnail? Are you talking about the thumbnail? What about it? That's Gemini energy. We know Gemini moon vibration. Queenie Two Bless, how you doing? You said your twins have the North Node in Gemini in the 8th house with Mercury. That means your twins are going to be very street smart, very clever, very intuitive. That means they're going to pick up on things very quickly. It means they're going to be sharper than everybody else. But that also can make them very manipulative. It can make them very mischievous. It can make them know how to work people's jelly. They know how to talk people out of anything. Anything. Or talk them into anything. You better be careful with them. Yeah. They came out game tight. Let me teach them. I have them pimping. I'm just playing. But not for real though, I could. JB, what up? Manu, Ra, El Wajid, you have Mercury and Pisces. You want to know about Mercury and Pisces? See, Mercury and Pisces have thoughts that are especially emotionally influenced. And it's not just their own emotions, it's the emotions of the environment around them, the emotions of other people. Now, Mercury and Pisces also can be divine writers and incredibly creative people. But at the same time, they can be really lazy. They can make adjustments just for the effect, or they can accept everybody else's will without putting their own thoughts into the mix. It can be harder for them to pick up on stuff unless they can get into a rhythm, or unless they have some type of extra source of distraction while also helping them as a learning technique. So there's a lot with that. But I don't know about the structure with Mercury and Pisces. Help Me 100 said you're a Gemini sun in the 11th house with Mercury there in Western. Then yeah, you understand. JB, Gemini 3rd house, so you're very smart. You love to learn. You might even love to read. You know all types of little information about all types of different stuff. And you're in your element anywhere. You know how to adapt to any environment. It's not that you're a chameleon like it's Pisces, it's just you know how to adapt. Yeah, I know you. Just Marie. Au revoir. Hold up, y'all. Now, JB said they're trying to heal their Saturn and Taurus, and your Leo moon is conjunct your Venus. You just worry about money. Some situations make you, but you find comfort in stacking up money, and that's what you about, racking up success. Like you about just stacking up money. Sometimes your money helps you feel safe. Sometimes you get to thinking you are your possessions. Like that's how you get confidence. That's why that Saturn is square to that. Like you find confidence in money. Like it's like, man, the more money you have, the more confident you feel about yourself. But you have to find true confidence, and that means developing your self-esteem and real value in yourself, separate of what you own and what you have. Because sometimes when you don't have it, or when things are looking bad, you can really be down on yourself, or you can just be putting on the front, and people can know that. And you might be a person who likes to stunt with those placements. So there's a lot of stuff with that. Now, Queenie Two Bless, you said Chiron and your moon and Aries in the 6th house. They're not conjunct. You said that's with your twins. What does it say about your parenting? It doesn't really say a lot about your parenting. It means that they might be a little wild. Doesn't matter what your parenting is. That just tells me that they're really active. They're both very active, and they might be wild themselves. I don't know if that's as much reflective, because it's Aries, of who you are as how they are. But you're probably an active person yourself, and you're very, you don't play no games, and you're tough. But it might say that you do it on your own a lot. But they're both very independent, and they have a hard time getting along with other people, and sometimes even each other. And they will fight. They will fight, and they're very active. They're just very active. They have a lot of energy. And if they're not finding some way to express that in exercise or sports, then they're going to end up wanting to kick somebody's ass. So those twins with that Aries 6th house moon, like they're going to, and that Chiron there, they're going to have to learn how to manage all that energy that they have and that anger that they have. And with Chiron there, they might just get in trouble a lot. Whether it be at home or anywhere else. So I hope that gave you a little insight. Now, what's my thoughts on Saturn's destructive energy? I don't think Saturn has a destructive energy. I think Saturn will, let you destroy yourself. Saturn wants you to mature, but if you're going to destroy yourself, then you're going to do that. Saturn isn't destructive. Pluto can be destructive. Saturn is constructive. When somebody tells you some stuff, sometimes it's to break you down because they want to humble you. That will be destructive criticism. But sometimes somebody tells you something that you're not doing right, or they give you some type of insight because it helps you mature. That's constructive criticism. So Saturn is constructive, where Pluto is more destructive. You feel me? If that makes a lot of sense. Hey, that's love, Queenie. Now hold up, let me answer Jess Marie's question. Jess Marie, you said your youngest has Sun at 29 degrees of Cancer and Moon at 0 degrees of Aries. How would that play out as he grows? Being a fucking emotional wreck that's gonna act a goddamn fool sometimes. Being ready to fight because he feels everything so rawly. His emotions are on the surface. Oh, his emotions are on the surface, and he takes everything personal. And he's gonna be really fun too, though. He doesn't hold grudges like a lot of Cancers do, but his emotions sometimes are gonna make him have to apologize because he's gonna act out emotionally. He's gonna do some shit like he has like that 0 degree Aries moon can make him very, very viscerally reactive. And it can also, which means he has raw reactions. He doesn't think about it, he does it. And his emotions are so influential that, man, he is a fighter. A fighter, to say the least. That's the truth. Now, let me see what else I missed. Oh, you talking to JB? Help me. You said you have Saturn opposite your first house. You definitely learn to respect and accept your life moving accordingly. Yeah, most definitely. My bad. Manuel Ra El YJ, with your son in the 11th house. First of all, this tells me that you're a real team player. And you're about your friends while you're younger in your social life, which you do have an active social life. But as you grow older, you kind of grow into really about activism, where you want to help a lot of people. And you're looking to tie in with like-minded people who also want to help people. And just your friendships, your associations are everything to you. But you can also take a back seat when you don't have to. So your ego isn't as expressive as it should be. That's why the sun doesn't do so great in the 11th house. Because so much of your life is centered around other people that it's hard for you to have an honest expression of who you are genuinely. So you have to learn how to separate yourself from your association sometimes and do what you want to do. And that will help out. Sorry, I got a text. My son might be not feeling well. So I gotta watch out, make sure my baby ain't sick. But yeah, man. Mouth man, you said you're a Capricorn and been going through some tough times in the past 5 years. You ain't a Capricorn if your birth date is 5/18/98. You're a Taurus, not a Capricorn. I can't tell you about your future life, no. But I can tell you you're a Taurus, not a Capricorn if your birthday is 5/18. You're a Taurus, not a Capricorn. Uranus has been on your Taurus placement, so you've been going through some crazy shit in your life. That's what Uranus does. Keeps you from being comfortable. But it shows you how brilliant you are, how different you are, how genius you are in your own way. It puts you in unique opportunities for you to profit for yourself exclusively. So, follow me. Follow me. Now, like I said, I'm still here for any questions or any topics of discussion y'all have for a little bit. We can talk about whatever. Sometimes you're like, hey, we need to talk about this. And then nobody, now it's today and nobody has anything they want to talk about. Hold on. Your birthday is May 18th. Is that what you're saying? Your birthday is May 18th. Is that what you're telling me? May 18th, 1998. You are a Taurus, my bro. Almost a Gemini. Yeah, you're a Taurus. You're barely a Taurus. You're almost a Gemini. And Uranus hasn't even conjuncted your placements yet. Pluto's been trying to your sun. So you've been going through changes. But yeah, you might be a Cap moon. Something like that. But you're a Taurus, my bro. Even in Western or with your sun right there, whether it's Western or Vedic, you are a Taurus. You're a straight Taurus. That means you always on some bullshit. No, I'm just playing. That's where we at with that. Who did I miss? Who said something about a 9? Oh, he went through your he did your numerology. I see you blessed by Zone Out Music. I see you doing your thing, nigga. I see. Stay on the supreme mathematics, God. Straight up, though. All bullshit aside. Stay on your supreme mathematics. Some people don't understand what that means, but I understand what it means. And you will if you don't. I'm giving you knowledge of self. After knowledge of self comes empowerment. Now, how am I feeling about Saturn direct? You got a feeling things might get more dreamy, a little sexy too. For you, shit, I'm not feeling any type of way. I'm scared, shit, like I always am. Shit. I'm scared. You said feeling things gonna get more dreamy and sexy. Hell fucking nah. It's Saturn. It's gonna get scary and motherfucking confusing. I'm fixing to get high. Yeah. Fuck it. Now. No, Saturn is is one of the worst places. Saturn being powered in Capricorn, that's would be easier. Saturn in Pisces is gonna make it harder to deal with. It's just not affecting you. It's not gonna do that to everybody. Damn, I done missed a lot of people's shit. A lot of people's shit. Now let me get back up. I'm missing people's questions. If I miss your question, just ask the question again or hit the super chat and I'll never miss your question. Now, JB, Jupiter directly on your Saturn. That's probably a fortunate thing. You gotta find the blessing. Ebony. You said me speaking on nakshatras and you going into research has brought so much clarity, like a next level. I told you that. You started to really understand your Placidus chart, but you really feel like you hit a different wall. Hey, I told you. Them nakshatras, it gives you a whole different realm of understanding and what the energy kind of means, and then it separates it from just the astrology placement. See, people are looking for what the placement means because they're so worried about what everybody else says and what, like, no. Get an understanding of what it means for you. That's what we're going to teach in my astrology pupilship with my people, my apprentices that I've already accepted and the future ones that I will have. So, with that right there, just like developing an understanding of the nakshatras helps you get an understanding of the deity, the energy, and what it means. And really, it just tells you what that area of the zodiac means specifically. You get what I mean? Like, that's what's beautiful. It's not just about the sign and that. It tells you, because that, you know, it breaks it down into what that specific area of the zodiac means for you. By Pada, by Nakshatra, and then through an understanding with the information incorporated. The nakshatras offer you an understanding, not just knowledge or information. You can get information about a placement. There's all types of information everywhere about a placement, but gaining an understanding about how that energy is working for you is what sets you apart. Pardon me. I was gonna say separates, but what sets you apart. Now back to everybody's questions. Anthony, you said, what does a retrograde Aries Mercury mean in a natal chart? You got an attitude. You make adjustments quickly and shit, but you talk to people crazy too fast. You got or even if you don't have, you come across like you got an attitude. And you think impulsively. You don't think before you act or think before you speak. You fly off the handle sometimes. You say shit. You like there's sometimes like you say the wrong shit at the wrong time, or you just make shit worse by speaking, and your brain is moving real fast and your actions are always aligned with whatever your brain is putting into place at that moment. So that can be a problem sometimes. Whereas some people with Mercury and Aries being direct, their first thought on the subject is their best thought. But for you like, sometimes it's like that's not your best thought. Sometimes you should have thought about it. You should have processed it before just flying off the handle or saying something or doing something. So all of that has to be incorporated. I need a few more of y'all to hit that like button for me. We're just getting started here. We're here for at least another hour and a half. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. Next. George, you said, how do I deal with the Venus and Aries in the 8th house? You don't know, but it's been a dry spell dealing with these shorties for the past 7 years. You up for saying that it could be a motherfucker, because that's what you want is, you want some coochie with that Venus and Aries in the 8th house. You don't even know if you want a relationship, and you jump into a relationship if it means you gonna get plenty coochie, but you just want some coochie, bro. And it ain't nothing wrong with it. You're honest about it. Yeah. You my bro. You a motherfucking gremlin. I appreciate the love on CashApp, Ebony. Bro. You made my day. Rich Wealthy, you said the 7th house indicates romantic relationships, right? The 7th house indicates marriage. The 5th house indicates dating and romantic endeavors. How can you see your romantic relationship that you've had or gonna have? You can look at the 5th and the 7th to get a picture. And look at your Venus sign, Juno sign, all types of stuff. Throne says he has a push your moon. Pot of 4, Scorpio moon. Can I explain that? First of all, Pusha is not Scorpio. Pusha is Cancer. Okay? First of all. Pusha is Cancer. You can have Mercury in Scorpio, but Pusha is Cancer. Leo, Western. My Mercury is 0 degrees Leo. And I have Mercury in Pusha. So it's Western, Leo, sidereal Cancer. For sure. I promise. No, I can't interpret it though. I don't want to sit here and start thinking and get anything off on the Vedic interpretations of all nakshatras. Like, I'm very adept in my placements, and I know most of them, and I can tell you what most of them are. But to be able to interpret them here for you confidently, I would have to study more, and that it takes an honest person in me to say, hey, I'm not comfortable just coming off the head with them like I am with Western. I probably could, but I'm not confident in doing so. Nobody's better than me at Western astrology in my lane. There's people that are great forensic astrologers and medical astrologers and people who know asteroids really well that I don't. There's people, but in my lane, I'm one of the best in the world. That's why people all over the world are here in this chat right now. And there's going to be people all over the world that see this before it ever gets done making its rounds here on YouTube. Hold on, though. You got to cut him out. Now let me answer everybody else's questions. Queenie Tubeless, you said Sun in Cancer in the 9th house, Moon in Aries in the 6th house. You talking about your twins? Yeah, they're balls of emotion. My Sun is in Cancer in the 9th house, and I'm a ball of emotion, but my Moon is in Pisces, so I can't even imagine how raw they can be with it being in Aries. Soul Bay, your Saturn is in your 7th house. That's a beautiful thing. It just means that it takes you longer to settle into something like marriage because you do take it seriously. It's not that you don't care, but you aren't really very affectionate. You don't want all that affection. Like, it's not that you don't want commitment. It's like you're not really that affectionate. And it's just over time you'll learn to trust people more to open up to them. But you're really just looking for something mature. You're looking for something that's going to mature over time. You're looking for somebody mature enough that can handle a relationship. So you're not the type of person that's ever going to push or jump into any situation. But yeah. Ebony said, you always hear so much good things about the 5th, the 7th, the 9th, and the 11th house placements. But those are your empty houses. What does that energy mean? No, you have Lilith in the 5th. Oh, I know you got Lilith in the 5th. With Lilith in the 5th, we know what that means. We know what that means. You got it inside of you. You got it in you. You got it in you. I ain't gonna put you out there in front of our peoples, but we know you got it in you. I used to put people out here, but I didn't really got better about that. I try to be more tactful. But you got it in you. With that Lilith in the 5th house, you can try to hide it. You can try to play innocent, but you got it in you. You'll get out there, or you used to, or you will. Now I know. Now I know. Yeah. But nah, there's good stuff about every house. Now let me answer other people's questions. What does Venus in Aries, Jupiter in Libra, and Pluto in Scorpio all retrograde mean? It means you got to get a whole chart reading because that's 3 placements, and I don't want to answer about all 3 placements like that. I mean, it's priceless, but it ain't free. I can answer 1 or 2 of those for you, though. You feel me? But, let me go on and say, with Venus in Aries, That's the type of person that jumps into relationships real fast. With Jupiter and Libra, they really value their relationships, and they're good at having relationships with people. They're a good partner. They feel like they naturally belong in a partnership. They're very lucky in partnering up with people. They're going to meet all types of different people. They might even be really pretty, or there's just something really attractive about them. It doesn't have to be physical beauty. There's something about them that brings harmony in other people. With Pluto and Scorpio, and it's there. Who knows what it means retrograde, because it means different stuff for different people depending on the house. The retrograde influences the house more than the sign. So for me to know what Venus retrograde in the second house means would be something. Me knowing what Venus retrograde in the fourth house would mean something. I would know what the retrograde planet being in the house better than the retrograde in the sign. Or even the affliction. Because that's going to play out in the area of life that's designed for it. You feel me? Excuse me. But yeah. That's where we at with that. Now, Rich Wealthy, you said you have Mercury and Virgo in the 5th house. What does it say about dating and romantic endeavors? That you're very picky. You think too much. That's why you don't have as much fun as you could. And, you know, you have high standards. You come from a good place with Venus and Leo in the 4th house. You have high standards. You really, you know, you think a lot about yourself because the way you were raised, people who treated you special growing up. And more or less, you're just really picky. It's hard for you to loosen up. You're kind of uptight. So that makes dating harder for you than other people. But you also ain't gonna never settle. So you're gonna get what you want eventually. It just might not be as fun as far as the journey goes getting there. Sorry, I kicked the speaker. But yeah. That's it right there. Let me see who else's question I missed. Saturn and Leo in the 11th house. You come across as you're kind of cocky. You come across as kind of cocky, so it's hard to make friends. You got a big ego, a big ego. But really, you're just trying to make yourself rejection proof. You gotta learn how to stop taking yourself so seriously. Enjoy life a little bit more. Then you'll be a lot more creative. You'll be a lot more fun. You'll be a lot more loose. You hear me? Loose as a goose. But you do have a few friends, but you don't have a lot of friends. And the friends you have are lifelong. And the other people might know you and even use you as a resource, but they were never close. They were never your real friends. They never will be. But yeah, you have a hard time making friends anyway because your friends have to be able to deal with your fucking ego and who you are and this character that you play. Yeah, I know you. Young God. Young Rod sees you. Yeah. Don't act like you got amnesia. I see you. Now, next question. JB, you said, have I seen anybody heal their Saturn before their 30s? Like, how difficult is it to overcome? You're not trying to be single. You don't have to be single. You just ain't married yet. Yeah, you can work on it, but you got to be the type of partner that's going to be mature enough to handle something like that. Maybe you're not there yet. Rich Wealthy, Neptune and Sagittarius in the 7th. What does that say about love for you? It means that Neptune is there. It means you don't see people for what they really are. You're too idealistic in matters of love. You know, you take shortcuts. You also are very flighty in your own right, which makes other people uncertain about you. You're loyal to principles, not people. So you'll move on if a relationship, if you feel like a relationship ain't where you want it to be at. So it's hard for you to have a solid relationship because your ass always thinks the grass is greener in the next yard. And that Virgo thing is kind of you start seeing what's wrong with the people that you're dating. You start thinking, man, this ain't it, or they're not it, or this ain't what I want, real fast. So you're ready to move the fuck on. And so people don't trust your commitment, and you yourself ain't really the type of person that commits very easily. Because you're looking for something better. You have incredibly foolishly high standards. That's why your weenie is ashy now. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing, bro, but for real though. You got you gotta stop being so motherfucking picky. That don't mean settle, but that means have some fucking fun. You might be pleasantly surprised. Might be that's where the blessings are for you, Ebony. TAS, tests. You said you have Saturn in the 3rd house and Venus in Virgo in the 6th house. Leo, Sun in the 5th house. What does that speak to romantically? Saturn doesn't speak to anything in your 3rd, really, as far as your romance. It's just kind of hard for you to communicate with people. It's hard for you to have open communication with people. But with Venus in Virgo in the 6th house, you, in a lot of ways, are not very affectionate. And you know, you kind of pick people apart. And you're kind of cold a little bit. And so you're a hard person to get close to. But with that Leo Sun in the 5th house, you still have fun in your own way and date in your own way. Like, you're very creative, but that's really your outlet. But as far as settling down with somebody and being really just stuck in a relationship, that's hard, because as soon as you get into that, you start to look at them and be like, you know what? It's not as much as you're looking for something better, but you start to think and see all of the deficiencies in the relationship and with that other person. And really, you just need to work on you and be a better partner, and maybe you'll attract different things. That's the thing with Venus and Virgo in the 6th. And you could also have some health issues. Your health might not be particularly strong with this, unless your habits and your routines are very, very, very precise. And little bitty small shit can make you nervous. It makes you, you know, just hard to be around and deal with sometimes. So a lot of the times, your energy is just hard, but there also is a certain creativity. There's also a certain charisma. There's also a certain, oh man, with that Leo Sun in the 5th, that's very interesting. You are great on your own, and you're great as a leader of a lot of people, and you seem like it. You might have fun dating, but serious relationships might be something else with that. Now, Amuguli. I don't know XYZ by Pooh Bon. I don't play other people's music unless I have permission. But let me help you out. Take that shit to somebody that takes requests. You have now been banned from the Vibe tribe. Exiled. We are not for you. Fuck out of here. Karen Johnson, where you been? You said Capricorn Sun, Sag Rising, Gemini Moon. You typically ain't shit. I'm just playing. I mean, but for real though, like, you trying to win at all costs. Very competitive. You very business oriented. And you might seem nice, but that don't mean you're out for anybody's best interest other than the people that you feel responsible for. And you're very, 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 very adept at turning the situation to your advantage. Playing the devil's advocate. Yeah. You got it like that. Virgo midheaven in the 10th house. What's my best career type? There's all type of stuff that could be your career type. You're gonna have people say something in the service industry, or they're gonna say something in the medical field. But there's anything that involves taking care of details, anything that involves organization and planning, anything that involves fixing things, like all of that right there. Ebony said, you left your kid's dad during your Saturn return, Halloween of 17. That was the beginning of a new life. Not easy, but you're grateful to be free from that situation. And you said you didn't know shit about a Saturn return, but when you look back, it's interesting that it was going on during that time. Yeah, I dealt with some crazy shit during that time. Watkins Cat House, Jupiter and Libra in the 5th house. I already answered the question. I'm not going back. I'm not going back and answer that shit again. I don't know how it works. But yeah. Thank you, Levi. You stay blessed, brother. I hope no matter what happens, you and all the Levites don't get left out. Oh, my bad, my bad. Big B's gaming. So you come in here on some nasty shit. Like we finna ban your hating ass real fast. Hell nah, nobody farted in the fucking live. Moron. You have been banned from the Vibe Tribe. Exiled for that bullshit. You will never be a part of this again. We are a Vibe Tribe. We are not thirsty for subscribers. Some people will never be able to be a part of this because they will never be able to understand it, comprehend it, feel it, be a part of it. You can observe it, but you just won't get it. So I'm helping you out. Have a good life. Hey, the mouth man, I don't need... Please, bro, don't be the one that gets blocked too, or mouth leg, whoever you are, trying to give me suggestions. I don't need suggestions. I built this off my back. There's thousands of us here. Do you have a viral channel? You'll be all right. Please don't play yourself, though. They should already know. My channel develops the way that it is developing natural. I appreciate the insight, but keep it there. We are a vibe tribe. Astrology is an integral part of that, of the knowledge that's expressed here. But it's not just astrology. I am a professional astrologer. But what we come here to do is vibrational therapy. It didn't say straight astrology facts, first of all. It says PrIcElEs Gemini Moon Vibrational Therapy. You might not can comprehend that. Maybe it's not for you. I'm waiting to see. And I still love you, but just don't play yourself. I'm a gentleman of a certain character, and I have certain standards. I feel you, fam. But my channel, it grows and develops naturally on its own. We started with 0 subscribers just 3 years ago. Not even 3 years ago, we dropped our... Really, it'll be tomorrow, marks our 3-year anniversary here on this channel. We came out the mud for real. There are thousands of us now. Yeah. And speaking of which, for all of y'all that are on Facebook and haven't joined Star yet, yeah, you know who we are. I don't know what the fuck you waiting for. You need to go join Star immediately. Go join my group, Priceless Knowledge of Self, also. But for all my card flippers, all my astrology lovers, Star is where it's at. But you got to leave your feelings at the door because they're going to get hurt. And I'm also telling you now, it's not a safe place for a man. For all of us males, I'm telling you now, they're going to be on your ass. It's not a safe space for a man. But the astrology community is not generally a safe space for men in its own right. There are some awesome astrologers that have fought for their place. But in order to do so, they have to be able to connect with femininity on a certain level. Yeah. You can't come in with a radical chauvinistic mindset with this. But I'm telling you now, go fuck with Star. Go fuck with Star on Patreon. And if you want to academic approach, like I said, there's my group, Priceless Knowledge of Self. There's the Academy at Star. They have a culinary division at Star. They have a kids division. I happen to be one of the admins. I can direct you wherever you want to go. So, if you haven't fucked with Star yet, go fuck with Star. Yeah, you know who we are. Now, I don't know what you're asking me, Ebony. You got to ask it again. I went into a soliloquy. Arlo Gucci, you said, what do I suggest for mastering astrology reading? There's all types of books. I wouldn't suggest just one book. I would suggest you getting a wealth of understanding from different perspectives. So, yeah. It's capital S, capital T, capital A, capital R, the Society of Tarot and Astrology Readers. Star. The Society. Yeah. I'm probably the only man that's safe in Star. I'm gonna be honest with you. The rest of y'all probably, they're gonna be on you. They might, as long as you stay quiet, they ain't gonna fuck with you, but you can't make your presence known. If you try to assert yourself, if you think, no, this group needs a strong male voice, then you're gonna get highly disappointed. You're gonna get humbled real fast, because that's the last thing that group needs, is a strong male voice. Plus, have you ever heard a voice this strong yourself? You hear me? It takes a certain tact. Arlo Gucci, you said, how did I master astrology? By years of study. I actually went to classes. There's a lot of stuff. I've been doing this for 20 years, and I've been interested in astrology since I was 8 years old. I'm 37 years old. So going on 30 years, I've been into astrology, as people would say. It was just something that stuck out to me and made sense to me from a very early age. And then as I got older, I got really into studying astrology. At first because I was already into it, but also because that gave me a connection with girls. Also because it gave me an understanding of myself. Also, it was something that right off the rip, it just made sense to me when a lot of bullshit in the world didn't. And so over years, I developed a strong understanding. And then over years, I read. And over years, I went to a couple of classes. And I mean, I really, really, really put work in developing this craft. But I also just understood it naturally off the rip. But understanding something intuitively is not enough, and people think it is. That's why you have so many people that just be up here just talking out of the side of their neck. Having an intuitive understanding of people or of a placement does not mean that you don't need to know the true information that goes behind it, so that you can actually offer a service that is of a certain quality, instead of you just talking. And sometimes intuition is on point. You can never guarantee when your intuition is off point or on point. Everybody's not always on. So in order to ensure that, you also need to have a basis of information with that. Gia, what's up with it? You said you have vertex transiting your natal Lilith, and how is your vertex transiting? Vertex doesn't really move. You talking about the transit vertex? I wouldn't look at the transit vertex. You only need to look at your vertex. Don't look at the transit vertex. Unless you look at your natal vertex and things that are aspecting it. Now, if the transit vertex is conjunct your natal vertex, exactly, now that's something to look at. But unless the transit vertex is conjunct your natal vertex, I would not be looking at it. And the transit vertex does not exist, really. The vertex is the point of the chart. Don't look at that. You're looking at the vertex of that chart. You're not looking of that transit at that moment in time. That shit could change at any second as any equation in that chart changes. So you cannot look at that. Do not concern yourself with the transiting vertex. Look at transiting planets, transiting astrological bodies, and how they are affecting your vertex. Unless somehow the transit vertex is exactly conjunct your natal vertex, is not something to concern yourself with. Damn, I'm all the way down here. I done missed a lot of shit. If I missed your question, just ask again. Damn, I fucked up the whole camera, y'all. My bad. Yeah, my bad, y'all. I have long legs. The triple kicker. I am. What's up with? What it was, cuz? Throne, you said, can I explain natal vertex at 26 degrees of Pisces, conjunct 0 degrees Aries midheaven, opposite 26 degrees Virgo midheaven? Virgo Mercury. Your natal vertex is at Pisces, 26 degrees of Pisces. Well, you have to find some type of way to believe in yourself, believe in something. You have to find some type of, belief in your own. Sometimes it's your own divine gifts that'll show that to you. And sometimes it's situations and people that are going to activate that for you, which helps you be more ambitious and helps you be more powerful and helps you be the beast you need to be. But first, you have to find belief in something and find out your divine gifts and develop those. So that's very interesting in its own right. Mouth man, you be safe out there. Appreciate it. Now, Ebony, you said Lilith and Mars are in transit. You said they're transit your South Node and Vertex. What type of transit? Are they conjuncting it? Or are they sextile? You say transiting it, Mama. But what type of transit? What do I think of this Aries moon and Matthew Perry passing? I already kind of explained that. I think that has more to do with the Scorpio placements, the Scorpio stellium being opposite to Jupiter and Taurus, and him doing too much drugs or him overindulging and him killing himself on accident. People overindulging, taking things to the extreme could be to their detriment right now. You have a Scorpio stellium with the Sun, Mercury, and Mars all opposite to Jupiter and Taurus in the 11th house. So people are doing too much drugs, people overindulging. People, that right there, and him being in a hot tub. That right there, specifically for me, is probably being activated by that energy of Jupiter and that the oppositions being created through that. Dilemma, you said, how do you stun a Mars in Aries? And then you said, how do you shake a Mars in Aries? Shit. First of all, you ain't gonna stun a Mars in Aries. They stun you. They bomb first. They shoot the shot. They are first out the motherfucking gate. So you're not gonna be able to beat them to the punch. You're not gonna be able to beat them to the punch. How do you shake them? You ain't gotta worry about it. They'll shake you. Like I said, you can't beat them to the punch. You already lost. Or you said Lilith and Venus are conjunct your South Node and your Vertex. That Virgo energy can kind of right now bring out the worst in you in certain ways, and also the best of you. But you got to be able to, look at yourself just the same way that you look at other people. And that's hard to do. You said you have an Aries midheaven. Try you. You're just very ambitious. There's nothing that'll stop you from getting to your goals. You're a leader at heart. And being a leader for you doesn't mean having a whole bunch of people following you. It means doing your own thing regardless of who's following you. And that's why people fuck with you. And that's why people are willing to follow you. Appreciate it, Lakia. Appreciate it, Gia. Dilemma, you said, how do you get them off of you for real? I don't know. You gotta fight them off. Learn how to bob and weave. Hit them with them. That's the only way. It's the only way. No, you said he got some motivation of other things. You knew it. Thank you. You're trying to trick me. You used your Scorpio energy to fucking trick me. You use these Scorpio placements to manipulate me into giving an answer so you can go catch a motherfucker up. You dirty dog. You used the Scorpio energy to get me. I caught you. See, I caught up on it quick, but you got me first. You got me first. But I know what you're doing now. But yeah, that's what you did. You was manipulating me into telling you some shit so you could go catch a motherfucker up. You said you know what he's doing. He got some other shit going on. No. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. Don't say no now. I feel manipulated and used. I feel fucked. You didn't even kiss me. Damn. This is some bullshit. Caught in the crossfire. Damn. I'm just playing. I'm just talking shit. The moon is in Gemini. Now, I am Scorpio North Node in Aquarius. You got a Scorpio North Node in Aquarius. I don't know how that's possible. KL, you said, speaking of Scorpio energy, do I have anything to say about a North Node and Venus and Jupiter all conjunct in Aries in the 8th house? You need to learn how to act on your heart's desires. That'll transform you. That will empower you. Learning to act on your heart's desire. Having to act impulsively in the moment and with courage. That shows you how strong you are, how fearless you can be. And it helps you transform into your highest form. And to let your passion transform you. Through that, you be blessed. Through that, you have enjoyment and intimacy that other people only dream of. And life is never stagnant. You're a deep penetrator. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I know you. Now, Serafina, you said it sounds like Candyman. I believe it. Dilemma, you said you're Mars and Leo. That was your pizzazz. I believe it. Mars and Leo, they know how to get you because they already got you right off the rip. They know how to get you because they got you before you ever knew what happened. They approach every situation like they already had it under control, like it was already theirs, but they do need a better command of the field and the details. That's why dude got you sick now. And I came with the low blow. Now, I am, you said exalted Jupiter in the 12th house. Chiron in Aries and North Node in Scorpio, Aquarius. No. The North Node can't be Scorpio and Aquarius. The limit says they got details. You come on, Virgo moon. All right, I will leave you alone. You got it. Pow. You got that motherfucking sauce. You got the juice now, Dilemma. Hey, y'all give me 1 minute. My son's here. I gotta check on my son. My bad, I'm on live, son. I'm glad. You didn't have your key? You left your phone here, you know that?
Yeah, I forgot.
Come here. Did you make it to school? Did they take you right to school?
Yeah.
They did?
There was only one person though.
Just you?
Yeah.
Was it feel weird?
Yeah.
When you got there, was you the first person at school?
Yes. It was super early.
You was the first person there.
Yes, except the parent. I was the first kid there.
How long did you have to wait?
Not long.
Okay, we gotta get used to that. Can you get used to it?
Uh-huh.
All right. Hey, take Chief to use the restroom, baby. Sorry. I had to take care of my son. That's the most important part. I know I was gone for a second. But that's my baby. Now let me answer everybody else's question. Now, all right, somebody said, you mean Aquarius, 8th house, North Node, 8th house, Jupiter in the 12th, or Aquarius, 8th house, North Node in the 8th house, Jupiter in the 12th house, Chiron in the 1st house. So Aquarius in the 8th house just, I mean, that makes you really have a detached mindset in times of trouble and crisis. It also makes you very kinky in your own way. It makes you very intuitive and psychic in your own way. It makes you very gifted with the occult and astrology and things like that. Makes you very changeable in your nature, stubbornly changeable, funny as that seems. Having your North Node there makes you here to learn this type of stuff, astrology, to find the secret knowledge, to have an open mind. You're going to be forced to. Now, having Jupiter in the 12th house is a guardian angel that it protects you from the worst of every situation. It might not always be there, but it's always going to come through. Now, Chiron in the 1st house means you doubt yourself sometimes. Something held you back in life. There's something that you have to learn about yourself, to empower yourself, to build confidence in yourself, because something hindered that when you were younger. Yeah, I know. Hey, Sonny, I got you though. You have been banned from. Oh, hold up. Yeah, you have been banned from the Vibe Tribe. You would never be a part of this again. We are not thirsty for subscribers. This is a Vibe Tribe for a reason. We're here to help each other raise our vibration. If you cannot be a part of that, if you come in on the wrong bullshit, you will be banned. I'm talking exiled forever. That means you can observe, but you can never be a part of this. Nor should you, because you can't understand it. What's up, KL? I appreciate the love. Miss Sage, where you been? I ain't seen you in a while. Now, you said North Node and Aquarius in the 7th house. Does that make you distant in relationships? It just doesn't make you very affectionate. It makes you into different types of relationships. And really, you want freedom in your relationships. So you have to find freedom inside your own soul, and then your relationships will be a lot more stable. But with Aquarius there in the 7th house, you give a lot of freedom in relationships. You expect a lot of freedom. It's not that you're distant. It's just that you're not really finna be clingy on people like that. You let them be them and do them, and you don't sweat them, and you're just not real jealous. Some people can't take that shit because they think that you don't care, but you do care. You just love them enough to let them do them and be them, and you want them to have the freedom to choose to be with you. You identify a lot with your relationships. You just ain't holding nobody back. You got your own shit going. You got Leo in the 1st house. You're confident enough in yourself to let people be free to do their own thing. And that's something that's refreshing in relationships. A lot of people will never understand that. My daughter is a Leo rising, and I see it with her. Yeah, you ain't sweating a motherfucker. And so they think you don't give a fuck. But you just ain't sweating them. You love them, but you love them enough to let them do them. And you gonna do you. Motherfucker, if you want to fuck around, fuck around. But it's not that you're just giving them permission to cheat. It's just like that's the least of your worries. You're a breath of fresh air, but some people can't handle it. Yeah, I know you. Yeah. Feel that? Hey. Now. Yeah, she said, is that the son with Virgo placements? Yes, that's my baby. Well, I have 2 sons with Virgo placements, but he's the Virgo moon. The one that just came in here, Junior, he's my Virgo moon. Pisces rising, Aquarius sun, Virgo moon. Sun in Aquarius in the 12th house. Moon in Virgo in the 6th house. No, 7th house. Or right there on his descendant. It's exactly conjunct his descendant. His moon is, so it's in the 6th, 7th house cusp, really. His Mercury is in Aquarius in the 12th house, retrograde. His Venus is in Pisces in the 1st house. His Mars is in Pisces in the 1st house. I forgot. His Jupiter is in Leo. I forgot. In his 6th house. His Saturn. I don't know where his Saturn is. I don't remember. It might be in Sagittarius. His Saturn is probably in Sagittarius, like mine. His Uranus, I believe, is in his 1st house in Aquarius. In Pisces. His Uranus is in the 1st house in Pisces. Neptune is in his 1st house in Pisces. He got a lot of shit going on. He has a big ass 1st house stellium with a whole run of shit. And he has a 12th house stellium. He has a 12th house Aquarius stellium and a 1st house Pisces stellium. His ascendant is 2 degrees Pisces. And then he has a hard time finding who he is, too. He has Chiron in Aries at 0 degrees of his 1st house, which is interesting, too, in the Placidus system. So it's like he has to find himself from all of the projections and expectations and being in La La Land and all that other shit, because he has that crazy-ass 1st house stellium. But he's very confident. He has Jupiter in Leo. And so he is very, very confident in his own way. Very, 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 very confident. Like, he fucking it in his own way. Like, he's Aquarius in his way, but he's more Leo than his Leo brother. His brother's a 12th house Leo son, so he has a little bit more Leo than his brother. And his brother has, funny as it is, Jupiter in Aquarius. My oldest son has Jupiter in Aquarius. He's a Leo with Jupiter in Aquarius. And my baby son is an Aquarius with Jupiter in Leo. And so they really look out for each other and they really cling to each other. And so it's really funny to see that dynamic work out between them. So, and then my middle son is Jupiter in Pisces in the 2nd house. But yeah, it's pretty cool. If I miss anybody's question, you can just ask it again. Beg for to God. You said, what does what mean? Did I miss a question? Did you ask me a question? Or are you coming here playing games? Because you want to play rough? Okay. We're going for 30 more minutes and then I'm gone, y'all. And we will be back tomorrow. I can't guarantee that we will be, and I might, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might have some type of costume on. I came, Papa already. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I have anything. I came dead before. Like, I came as a motherfucking shot up gangster one year. Talking about blood all over, head blown off. Y'all remember that shit? Some of y'all weren't here, but like 2 years ago, I came full fucking costumed out with fucking full makeup, fucking big ass swords, fucking wounds all over me, blood dripping everywhere, like I was smoked. Yeah, there's my song. I'm fucked up. Oh, I said this shit is fucked up. Y'all remember this? Yeah, see. I'm fucked up. I can't take the pain, man. I'm caught top down, leather seats in the rain. It's a. I started sneezing. I was gonna sing for you too. Damn, that killed it. Oh shit. Sorry. Ugh. One of y'all's on some bullshit, and I'm allergic to bullshit. I'm just glad my throat didn't swell up. It could have been worse. That's all it is. That's the universe saying, nah, don't give it to him for free, daddy. Don't give it to him for free, daddy. Y'all have heard it before, but I was about to give y'all a little snippet into my pain, to my gifts a little bit. Serafina, I don't have a Leo moon. I have a 5th house moon, a Pisces 5th house moon. I'm a Pisces moon. I'm not a Leo moon. I have Venus in Leo, Mercury in Leo. My moon is in Pisces in the 5th house, though. Yeah, that's that Venus you see. That's that Mercury in Leo you hear. Adriana Holtz, what is my North Node in, if you may ask? Aries. I'm in my nodal return right now. I'm just past my nodal return. I actually just finished my nodal return. 27 degrees of Aries. In my 7th house. That's my North Node. Yeah. Bay God, what does what mean? The nodes are not, I can't say your future. I'll say this. I'll say this though. Having a North Node in Aries is not as bright as a future as some people would understand. See, the nodes operate in reverse. The nodes operate retrograde. And so with the nodes operating retrograde, that means coming to the final degrees of Aries means it's coming to the end of a cycle. It's the end. And so people who have their North Node in Ashwini Nakshatra, like myself, like 13 Moon Lily, we are reaching the end of a cycle in our lives. Maybe we've been on Earth a lot of times. Whatever it is, we're kind of coming to the end of a certain cycle. So there's that. MBR. That's an interesting title for an album for you to say that to me. I thank you for telling me that. Don't put your birth date up here. Well, nobody knows your name, but I wouldn't do that. You got an 8 life path though, bake for the God. You're built to be a boss. You got 2 11s. You have an 11 birthday number. You're made to be a boss. 1111 is master numbers, and then there's that 2002 is a 4. So you would say 11 plus 11 is 22, plus the 4 is 26. The 26 is an 8. So you are a boss. And you have divine gifts to lead people. You just can't become tyrannical because you understand people so well, or manipulative. Because then you could incur a karmic debt. That's your numerology. Yeah, follow me. See, I just know the supreme mathematics. I can break it down just like that and tell you about you. That's why it's priceless, but it ain't free. I need a few more of y'all to hit that like button for me, though. How did I learn all this so well? Over years of developing a depth of understanding. I kind of intuitively stuck to it from when I was a very young child, but over 30 years of being into it, but 20 years almost of studying it, really 18 years of studying it in depth, and then practicing it for almost 8 in some way, form, or fashion. Not completely professionally, but I was doing it on the side in some ways. I was, working for a website for a little bit, but I had little ways that I was keeping it as a side hustle before I decided, you know what, this is your gift, and you really need to pursue this as a professional endeavor. So yeah. Sean Thornton, you said you're a sun in Leo, Cancer rising, moon in Taurus, so you're a cool ass motherfucker. You got traditional values, but you also protect your sensitivities. You're so cool that you keep it cool. Sometimes you don't keep real close bonds with people because you're kind of sensitive. And once you feel responsible for somebody, you're down for them. And you don't want to get hurt, or you don't want to get taken advantage of. So you kind of you're the type of person that's real cool, but you sometimes ain't real close. Yeah, I know you. Tiny Drea, what's up, player? You doing big things, Tiny Drea. What about 3 life paths? They're very creative people, very sociable people. I like to liken 3 to Pisces energy, Gemini energy, very sociable, creative energy. Just don't get caught up in the gossip and learn how to speak from your heart. What's up from the deep? Yeah. Rebecca Towns, I'm feeling excellent. Why I look fucked up? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate it. Don't do that. Don't do that. You can't stroke my ego. It might start skeeting all over everybody. I have Mercury and Venus in Leo. My moon is in the 5th house. I just want to be adored. Yeah. Vibe. No, I ain't your honey bun. I love you. I ain't your honey bun. I respect you. I ain't your honey bun. I'm married. We cool though. I just want to be adored.
You can adore me, but you can never explore me. Because you can't afford me. This is priceless. Don't get me started. Now I'm blushing. You know I'm light-skinned. Don't do that. For real. I'll get real loose up in this bit. You will get both of us in trouble. You said, what's the story of my necklace? These are the finger bones of 4 fake niggas from Fort Worth, Texas. No, I'm just playing. I'm Papa. You learn. This was given to me. Appreciate the love on CashApp, Sean Thornton. The shelf. You gotta be careful though. Before you fuck around, lose your finger fucking with me. All you'll be able to do is this every day. I only take middle fingers. That way you'll never be able to fuck with me again. Ooh, this moon in Gemini got me saying my fly is shit. Rebecca Towns, you can't cook dinner tonight for me. My wife cooks dinner for me. You ain't gonna get me in trouble. She's a Capricorn with Venus and Scorpio. She don't play. You ain't finna get me killed. For real. That'd be my last motherfucking meal. Like I said, you can adore, but you can't explore. Because you can't afford it. It's priceless. It costs more than the dinner, baby. It might cost you your life. It's Scorpio season. Now, back to regular scheduled programming. I need a few more of y'all to hit that like button for me. Up, here comes my son. Oh, the package just showed up. What's in there? Dang, what's in there? You been signing for packages? What you think she ordered? Come here, bro. Say what's up to the people. Come say what's up to the people. Say what's up to the whole world. Come over here where they can see you for real.
What's up?
What's up? What's up? You ain't gonna be regular. You ain't gonna come out of character. What's up? Chief, come here. Come here, Chief.
Because he was dragging me across the snow.
Dang, you fell and he dragged you across the snow? It's because you can't handle yourself. You better stiffen up your back, son. You better get stronger. He was just dragging you all across the ground. Come here, baby. You better not be dragging my son. Get over there. No, don't try to kiss me. Don't try to kiss me, baby. Sorry, my dog's right here. Don't try to kiss me. You want to see the people? Can you see the people, Chief? Let me see if they can see it. Look at the people, Chief. Look at the people, Chief. Look at that, his baby, yes. Oh, there he is. Say what's up to the people. Hey, you better not drag my baby no more. You better not drag him no more. Go over there and play. No. Go with him. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. That's what's kept me alive over the last few months. That's my dog. Yeah, that's my dog, for real. You know what I'm saying? That's my dog. Yeah, he loves me. That motherfucker loves the shit out of me. That's because I spoil him and I get... You know, my wife's a Capricorn, so she said off the rip, don't give him people food. But I love him to death, so I give him everything. That motherfucker loves me, so... when I buy him treats every day, he has toys. The dog is a Capricorn. The dog was born December 23rd. No bullshit. The dog is a motherfucking Capricorn. And what the dog does is go get all his toys. He has a whole bunch of toys, and he don't like nobody fucking with his toys unless he brings it to you. But he goes and gets all his toys, and he hoards them and brings them all in front of him. He'll set all of his little toys in front of him, and then he'll pick which one he's gonna play with, and then he'll come try to force you to play with him with his toy. You understand? But yeah, the dog is incredibly fucking spoiled. Black folks usually don't have spoiled dogs like this. This shit done got out of hand, but it's my fault. Because I'm soft. I'm soft. But let me tell you something. Yes, Capricorns love dogs. People with Capricorn placements, they might be mean to people, they love dogs. You'll learn that about Capricorns. Capricorns be loving pets really, but dogs specifically. Capricorns love dogs. That's something I've learned over the years. They might say, I don't want a mess in their house, but I've seen a lot of Capricorns fucking love dogs. For real. But it's like they can't connect with people, but they can connect with animals. It's like they'll fuck with the dog because it's something they feel responsible for. That's gonna show appreciation. It's gonna value them doing shit for them. Capricorns don't feel appreciated by people, so dogs really show appreciation. Goddamn, Adriana, you interrogating us? I'm a Cancer. My son is a Aquarius son. I'm a Cancer son. He's an Aquarius son. Pisces, he's a Pisces rising. It's all love. He's a Pisces rising. Aquarius sun in the 12th house. Virgo moon, as I said. I'm a Cancer sun. Pisces moon in the 5th house. Libra rising with Pluto in the 1st house. That's all I can give you, but that's enough to paint a picture of me. It's okay. I have lots of sons. You'll see them. I have 3 sons. You see him the most because he's daddy's baby and he's a daddy's boy. I feel bad for you, enlightened dummy, if you huff farts like that. You nasty than a motherfucker. Now, but Wolverine, what's up with it? But yeah, my son has a lot of 1st house energy. A lot comes across. Like I said, my son has Venus, Mars, Neptune, Uranus, all in his 1st house in Pisces. And he comes from Maga Nakshatra. So he has the ancestors behind him. He's my baby. Yeah, for real. Maga Nakshatra is not just Leo energy and the throne of the king, but it's also the support of the ancestors. And that's what he has. He's the blessed one, the chosen one in the bloodline. That's what Maga Nakshatra would imply. And that's daddy's baby. My kids are awesome, but he's the only one that is a daddy's boy. He loves his mama, of course. She's here, but he sticks to him daddy. Always has. We have serious conversations. I remember one time, me and my son, he was maybe 3 years old. He was just barely turned 3. And I loved professional wrestling. I still love, but not new professional wrestling. I like old school wrestling from the 90s. And so my favorite wrestler is Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, right? And so he's from Texas. He's my favorite. And so when Shawn Michaels comes out, he comes out to that song. She's singing like, I'm just a sexy boy, sexy. And he's shaking around and dancing around. He sticks a towel between his legs, or his vest between his legs. Not a towel. He puts his vest between his legs and kind of glides it sometimes. So I remember one time I'm sitting there watching wrestling with my son, and you know he's Aquarius, but he's a Virgo moon, so he gonna keep it all the way 1,000 with you. So we're watching this shit, and I'm watching it. I'm just bopping. He looked at me and he said. And he always called me my name. He's my son, but he's always called me my name. Whether it's dad, he know I'm his daddy, and that's what but he calls me Rodrigo. He always has. I mean, that's Aquarius thing. They want to be different, but he called me my name since he found out my name when he was a baby. And I don't really trust, but he calls me daddy when he wants to. But I'm his daddy. That doesn't take it away what he calls me. So we were sitting there, and he said, Rocket. He said, Rocket. And I said, what? He said, I don't like you shake his butt, Rocky. I said, what? He said, no, I don't like you shake. Why you shake his butt, Rocky? I don't like you shake his butt. No man shake his butt like that, Rocky. I said, all right, man, I'll turn it off, bro. But he wasn't with that shit, bro. It was like, he didn't like that butt shaking shit. He wasn't with that fucking extra shit. He said, hey, man. He said, Rocky. I said it from a very early year. He said, why you shake your butt? I don't like him to shake your butt. Ain't no man shake your butt, Rocky. But some do, but he just wasn't with that. Shit, he wasn't with that shit at all. He don't play no games like that. He don't like Shawn Michaels. But he lives in La La Land most of the time. His energy is so different. He's an Aquarius with that Pisces rising. He's very, very, very different from everybody else. And he really hasn't asserted his Aquarius yet. He lives a lot of time in La La Land in that Pisces world. He spends so much time, caught up in expectations and in his own, projections and all that other shit. And, it's just hard for him to be present. It's really hard in school. And he has Saturn conjunct his ascendant right now, which affects me just as much as him. Saturn conjunct your ascendant, it actually could mean that there's something going on with your dad. So, he and I have been doing our thing. That's Junior. That's my Junior. So, his name being my name, him being Junior, it doesn't matter what he calls me. Like, that's Junior. You say your daughter has Saturn, Mercury, part of fortune, conjunct your south node in vertex. You said her Pluto is conjunct your Saturn, and her moon and Mars and vertex are conjunct. Then y'all have a karmic connection to each other. And not all parents have karmic connection with their kids. To be honest with y'all, what you're going to have in astrology a lot of the times is you're going to have character traits of one of your parents, and then you're going to have a karmic connection to your other one. And you can usually look at your 4th house or your moon, and you can see which parent you're karmically connected to. Like, for instance, my mother is my mom, and I love my mom. Like I said, my mom is a martyr to me. I found my mom dead when I was 13 years old. Me and her had an extremely close relationship. I'm a lot like my mom in certain ways. I'm a lot like my dad also, but more than anybody else, me and my mom have had a very special affection for each other, and it's hard. It's been hard for me to shake that. To this day, I'm grown, and my mom's been dead for over 20 years now. You know, and so the thing with that is at the same time, my karmic connection is to my dad. See, my mom is a Pisces Sun, Leo moon. My moon is in Pisces in my 5th house. My Venus, which is my chart ruler, is conjunct my mama's moon and my grandmother's moon, who are both conjunct to each other. My Mercury's in Leo. I got that from them. But my 4th house is Capricorn. My Mars is in Capricorn in my 4th house. My dad is a Capricorn moon. So I have a karmic connection to my dad, or I'm karmically linked to my dad's karma, or my dad's side of the family, at least. That's where my roots are. So I have traits of my mom. I'm a lot like my mom, and that's my mom. And she a lot of her energy is in me, and that's cool. But I'm karmically linked to my father's karma. So my Black Moon Lilith is conjunct my dad's sun in Gemini in my 8th house. So I have deep karmic connections to my dad. That's 4th and 8th house connections to my dad and his family. Where my mom, I have character traits like my mom. Where it's my rising, my chart ruler, my Venus, what I love, the way I speak a little bit, the confidence that I come with because the love they instilled in me and the confidence I got from my mom believing in me. My imagination, my spiritual gifts, my mama gave that to me from her passing on and her giving me the gifts that I have. As well as God, of course. But my dad, that's the karma I have to overcome, the addiction, the lifestyle I lived, the need to compete, all of that shit, that Capricorn shit, the hardship, that Gemini shit, the stealing, the lying, the promiscuity, all of that shit. I had to overcome that. Now, last of Mo Higgins, you said, what does a karmic connection mean? It means that your roots are tied to them, you're karmically linked to them from probably previous lifetimes, or their spiritual connections that y'all's development is linked, or your development is linked to the relationship with that individual. That's what I would say is a karmic connection. You hear me? If we can get that, hold up, this shit tripped out. We ran out of music. But yeah. Now my sister is actually karmically linked to my mom. Now that you think about it. My sister is a Sagittarius rising, right? So my sister's 4th house is going to be Pisces. So she's karmically linked to my mom and that side of the family. Even though she has addiction and stuff, she has a lot of traits like my dad. And people say, oh man, she actually is like your daddy. And she deals with addiction, but my mom had addiction too. But her, it's about learning to care for people, learning to care for her children, learning to show forgiveness, learning to stop play victim. Like she has Pisces in her 4th house there, which she's karmically linked to my mom. And her mom, that is her mom, you know, is the 4th house. That's Pisces, interesting as it is. So our charts are literal. My other sister has a different mom than me, but her mother is an addict, and she's a Pisces moon with a Gemini sun. Her dad is a Gemini, who is my dad. So we're Pisces moons, but hers is for a different reason. Hers is by expression or experience, not by inheritance. Mine is by inheritance. My mom is a Pisces sun. Leo moon. So I got a direct hit of my mom in my moon. Inside, I'm a lot like my mom because I want to be, because I love my mom. She put that in me so I won't fucking destroy myself. But there's also addiction that comes from that. There's a lot of shit that comes from that. Escapism, avoidance behavior. Look at my third house. Your third house is your siblings, your family connections, your early environment. I have Uranus in my third house in Sagittarius. Not only was I a wild little kid, especially in church, especially with me being so intuitive and me learning to pick up on things so quickly. I'm not lying to you or bragging when I say I could read at a college level when I was in first grade. I remember my mom telling the school teacher that. But it's not because I was just smarter than everybody else. It's because I liked to read, and it was because it was something that was just easy for me. I was hyperlexic. See, they have dyslexic and there's hyperlexic, which means I picked up on academic stuff really fast. But it also made me get in trouble. I always did. I was in gifted and talented classes from a very early age, but I never behaved myself. I stayed in trouble. I acted a fool constantly. It's not because I wanted attention, which I did, but it's just because I acted a fucking fool because I'm a fucking wild card. That's how I am. I like to play. I like to talk shit. I'm going to say what's on my... And one day I'm different from the next. I have Uranus in my third house, especially when I was in that developmental stage. I was a wild card, and I would fight a lot. I had Uranus. I was a bully a little bit. There's Sagittarius there. I was about that. I would fight anybody. I don't give a fuck. I'm different now. I have a lot more fear in me now than I ever had as a youngster. But I really value and want to preserve my life now. Back then, I was just living. And I was just, You understand? But I was also very intuitive, very brilliant, very gifted. I just didn't have the understanding that came with it. Now, my sister, here's the literality of my chart. My sister is a Sagittarius. So there's Uranus and Sagittarius in my third house. And we have a very wild relationship. We just fell out recently because she doesn't want to take care of her fucking kids. And with us having the mother that I have, I just can't respect that. But at the same time, that's my fucking sister. And we have an intuitive relationship with each other. It's just very wild. And we're not always around each other. There's a Sagittarius nature to it. We love each other. But we stay away from each other. We stay far away from each other. We don't even fuck with each other regularly. We don't even talk but every few months. And that's sad sometimes. But that is what it is. We have a very, very erratic relationship. But when we're around each other, we love each other to death. That's my fucking blood of blood. I remember a time without her, but barely. But she never, well, not really, I don't. But she never had a time without me. That's my little sister. We went through finding my mom dead together. So we have a very intense relationship, but it's also not very intimate or very close. We love each other, but we're not close like that. Now, my other sister, funny as it is she's reflected through Neptune. Now, I have Neptune and Capricorn in my third house. Well, once again, my dad's a Capricorn moon, right? But even going beyond that, my sister has the same dad as me, but a different mom. But you want to take it further, her mom happened to be our next door neighbor. So there's the third house element also. My dad cheated on my mom with our next door neighbor and got her pregnant. And there is my sister, who comes from my dad's Capricorn moon. So I can look at the chart and tell you things literally. See, I can look at your chart and tell you stuff. You get what I'm saying? Like, the chart always tells a story energetically. So you see that right there. And her and I are very close because my Neptune is like, we have a spiritual connection, me and her. We have and I feel responsible for her. She's my baby sister, but I feel responsible for her. She looks a lot like me. We have, me and her always had a connection, even when we were apart for 20 years. People always, their whole life, you look just like Roger. You're just like Roger. And so when I was in prison and she came and found me again, like, big bro, like, I found you again. And I'm like, damn, there we are. Everything just fell back into place. But she's 6 years younger than me. And my mom actually raised her for a few years because her mom's husband couldn't accept the fact that she cheated on him with a black man and the next door neighbor. And so that's what happened. Like, They had a relationship. My mom, he cheated. You know, they have kids already. My neighbor Andy and Amber. My dad ended up fucking around with her, getting her pregnant. Then they have this black baby. And so I remember I was eating pizza. I'm 6 years old. Me and my sister are sitting there eating pizza on the floor watching TV. And there's a big knock at the door. My dad and my mom are sitting in 2 chairs behind us. And when the door opens up, it's my neighbor Andy sitting at the door with the, and y'all gonna have to excuse my language, but this was exactly what was said. He's standing at the door with the baby. And as soon as the door opened up, it was my mom that opened the door. And he looked past my mom to my dad and he said, "Jesse, this is your goddamn nigger baby." And he just handed that baby to my mom and took off walking. He said, "Keep it. It's your child. Take care of it." And my mom was just standing there holding the baby, turning around looking at my dad like, "Are you fucking serious?" And what's interesting is Andy was so controlling and abusive that Amber never came to get her baby for 3 years after that, until he went to prison. And he ended up going to prison, and she eventually came and got my sister and took her back to her, you know, with her. But my mom actually had to raise, after she divorced my dad. My mom divorced my dad like 6 or 7 months after that, a year after that. But even after that, we were all in the fucking battered women's shelter together. We spent like 18 weeks in a battered women's shelter called the Noah Project. And so we lived there with my mom because my dad was, you know, he didn't beat on her really, but that night that we left, it got really intense. And so while my mom was finding on her feet, we had to all live in a battered women's shelter. And so we had, and that was when Saturn was conjunct my moon last time, interesting as it was. Saturn is conjunct my moon right now, and I tell y'all I've been facing some hardships as far as dealing with stuff. But the last time Saturn was conjunct my moon was 30 years ago. And that's when my mom had divorced my dad and we were living in a battered women's shelter. And then from that, we were trying to find our own place and really, you know, life was unsure. And my mama was also just finding out that she was sick at that time. And so it's very, very interesting. And we've been here for 3 more hours. We are going for maybe 13 more, 14 more minutes, and then we gone for real. Maybe 20 at the most. But yeah. That shit goes deep. I mean, I've had some crazy shit happen in my life. I just, you know, crazy shit. I used to judge my dad, and I still don't respect him. But I also, that was before I started living the lifestyle I live, which I also have, through shadow work, realizing a lot of the lifestyle that I lived when I was living in that negative space is because that was my dad, you know, and how abusive and exploitive he was. But it's also not an excuse for my own behavior. I just have to learn how to identify those things that are ingrained in me so deeply and learn how to transform and empower myself from those. Out of awareness comes understanding. So excuse me. You feel me? Out of awareness comes understanding. September Joy, could I also describe part of fortune conjunct South Node in synastry? I mean, it's like y'all have. First of all, the part of fortune. I've never even looked at the part of fortune in synastry. That's interesting. But the part of fortune conjunct the South Node, you know, I don't know. I've never even thought about that, to be honest with you. I would have to say that, I mean, that lets me know that y'all might have, you know, y'all might have a big time bond from previous lives and y'all could prosper from that karma. But the South Node is still a South Node. You need to use that luck that you have and that karmic connection from that time before, or that connection before, in order to help you do better towards achieving your North Node. You can't focus on that connection with the South Node. You have to utilize it. The focus is on the north node. You utilize the south node to get to the north node. So with your part of fortune there, you utilize your natural gifts and the natural things that you've been given and the karma and the good things that come from that relationship, that karmic south node connection, and help it bless you in moving forward in a different connection. But if you have south node synastry, you also have north node synastry because they're both opposite to each other. So that helps you in also, you know, keeping together. So it's actually a very karmic connection between y'all. Hey, hold on. I just want to show this. Ellie Belly, or whoever this is, says I'm gay. Like that's an insult or something. First of all, we don't care about anybody's sexual orientation here. We're concerned with the soul. I don't think you heard me. We're concerned with raising our vibration. So you finna be banned, but I just wanted to entertain what you said right there. I wanted to let people see what type of trash you are. No matter what my sexual preference is, which is none of your business, which doesn't fucking matter, you saying that to me would never be an insult to me. Because I know some fucking awesome people who are homosexual and transsexual and transgender. So, you can dismiss yourself or I can block you, which I'm going to do anyway. Because this vibe is not for you. You have no talent for yourself, so you feel like you could come on here trolling. Which makes no fucking sense at all. You couldn't start your own channel, which could be a comedy channel, where you could say, hey, y'all come in the comments and I'll roast you. Or I'm going to post pictures and I'm going to roast the pictures. But you want to come on somebody else's channel and talk out the side of your neck. Somebody that you would never talk to like that in real life. Like you a fucking cockroach. Hey, we love you, but fuck you. You're out of here. You have been banned from the Vibe Tribe. Exiled. See, we are here to raise each other's vibration. We are not thirsty for subscribers. This is a community. If you can't deal with that, if you come in with some fuck shit, you will be banned. I'm talking exiled with no remorse or without a second thought. That means you can observe, but you can never participate. And vibration is everything. I mean, your third house, your sibling, that doesn't mean you don't, I don't know. There's other stuff. The third house is representative of my siblings, but there's all kinds of connections that can come with that. So, excuse me. Empty houses aren't indications of any sort, for my opinion. It doesn't mean that it's not a focus or it's not important or it's not a significant. It just means it's there. There's nothing complicated in that energy. There's nothing there complicating that energy. Putting a planet there puts a focal point there, or it complicates that energy. It adds a different flavor into that mix. And so with that there, your third house could still be reflective of your siblings or the nature of y'all's relationship together, but there's nothing complicated in that, or there's nothing enhancing it either. So there's another way you can look at that. It's all about approach, player. Approach. You gotta take the measure with it. You know, I block people left and right. The community and tribe we have here is too fucking awesome. The vibe here is too important. If a motherfucker ain't with it, they out of here. You come in here playing, roasting the wrong way. It's cool to joke, But if you get too disrespectful, hey, my Mars in Capricorn don't play no games. The channel's growing too fast. We ain't thirsty for people's attention. We're trying to help people for real. We're trying to love each other for real. And them trying to come insult me or play with me about my sexuality, which is stupid, just speaks to their character. Like, shit. Everybody's here. And nobody gives a fuck. We here to talk about the energy. Shit. Okay. What are my thoughts on the part of fortune in the 8th house in Scorpio? You're very resourceful. That's what it tells me. It means you'll get the bread by any means. And it means money's cool, but you're really looking for power. You understand things. You know how to work with finance. You know how to work with other people's money. You know how to get it out the mud if you need to. You know how to hustle if you need to. You know how to use what you have to get a little bit more. There's all types of things you can do. You could also get an inheritance or some type of settlement at some point. Yeah. Lucky. Mine is in Gemini in the 9th house. I'm just smart. You savvy. There's a difference. See, I'm smart. You're savvy. And that says a lot. Savvy. Me, I'm a Cancer, so sometimes I can be crabby. Hey, we really going for 14 more minutes and then we going for real because y'all don't appreciate me. We'll be back tomorrow, though. I might be butt naked tomorrow. No, I'm just... Best part of fortune placement, in my personal opinion, in Taurus in the 11th house. Part of fortune in Taurus in the 11th house. That's a real motherfucking profitable part of fortune. That's prosperity. But yeah. I mean, you make money. I ain't worried about what you're keeping. You need, the Taurus is going to help you with that. Aquarius in the 2nd house ain't as good as, even though it's a mutual reception, as Taurus in the 11th house. Taurus in the 11th house gets you paid. That puts you in touch with capital connections. And unfortunately, when it comes to finance, it's not about what you know. It is about who you know. I've learned that in doing business. Knowing different people puts you in different tax brackets. That's the truth. You can be really talented and people ain't gonna pay you shit. That's why I don't sell my beats, because I am so talented, but because for that realm, I don't have a name, and I'm not willing to take the time to build up a name, which means selling my stuff for really cheap until somebody decides they're gonna. No, I'm better than most of the producers out there, so I'm not motherfucking taking anything less than what I'm motherfucking worth. If not, I'm just gonna play my shit for myself. And I know that sounds foolish, but I'm not also a music producer. I do that shit as something that is an expression of me. I just happen to be really good at it. But if I ever chose to do that professionally, the thing is, I would have to be paid prominently. And that's not a reality. That's the truth. But having that part of fortune in the 11th house gonna make somebody get paid at the highest end no matter what they do. The 11th house is your gains, man. It's your gains. But I've also, like I said, seen that knowing the right people, being in touch with the right people can also put you in a different tax bracket.
That's the truth. I've seen it play out in my own life. Not just because of the beats, but also because as more people value you and you start to see you're attracting a different type of clientele, you will have to adjust your prices ultimately. Now, Rich Wealthy, you said second, third, and fourth, and fifth. I'm not going to do a top five. I might do a whole top five placement, a whole top five about that. Last of the Mohegans, you said, what's the significance of 0 in the 29th degree? 0 degrees is the purest expression of that energy, but it is, in my opinion, going to have a little bit of an influence of the other one, where 29th degree, the energetic degree, is going to be the fullest expression of that energy. Purest and fullest is not the same thing. Any more questions before we go? We finna head out soon. I'm hungry. And I want to go spend some time with my son. Sons, because my other son will be here too. I like to go play and talk shit with them. Which degrees are critical? Well, that is also something that is debatable. For me, I say 0, okay, 22, and 29. Those are the most critical. The rest, you're going to have people who are say 1 degrees is critical. They're going to say 21 degrees is critical. You're going to have some people say 11 degrees is critical. But for me, the most critical degrees are 0, 22, and 29. This is something I've seen play out. Boatman, can I say something about your birth month? It's June 7th, 1999. You're a Gemini. You're very clever. Very adaptable to any situation. Cool than a motherfucker. And you have a gift of gab in a certain way. You know how to talk to people. You know how to connect with different people. You need to stay stimulated because boredom can get the best of you. That's when you might get troublesome for some people. But yeah, I know you. Mandrake, you said, what does it mean that your moon is the same sign as your black moon? Just means you got, you know, there are certain deep ingrained behaviors inside of you. I'm talking about subconscious stuff, automatic responses that you're going to have to really look at that's probably caused by your relationship with one of your parents or the lack thereof. And, you know, there's some emotional shit, whether it be emotional responses or, you know, lack of understanding of your own emotions that you're really going to have to work with in order for you to channel that black moon energy in any type of healthy way. But it means your shadow traits are a natural part of your character inside of you. And it's really hard for you to get away from that. So, yeah. That's the last question. I appreciate everybody's love and support. If you haven't subscribed yet, you need to subscribe. Hit that like button. Hit the bell icon so you can be notified when I go live again. I will be live again tomorrow. Maybe early in the morning tomorrow. Not quite as midday like it was today, but I might come with the motherfucking roosters. You hear me? Yeah. But I will be back tomorrow. I thank everybody. If any of y'all are interested in any astrological readings, don't get at me in my comments. No. Get at me in my email, which is mr.turner1300@gmail.com. Rich Wealthy, I hope you listened to your whole numerology reading. I hope it was everything it needed to be. The same thing goes for you, Watkins Cat House. You said when? I will be here tomorrow morning. And I'll be here Wednesday, for sure. And then I have some readings that are scheduled with some clients. My email is Mr. So Mr. Turner
1300@gmail.com. Mr.Turner1300@gmail.com. What do we need to fix, bro? What year were you born? What's your birthday? Is it August 4th or April 8th? You sent me the 4th, bro. I don't know how, but what you sent me was the 4th. I have the email. I have to go back and look, but what you sent me was the 4th. Let me see. I just did it today. And I can make a mistake. It's definitely possible. But if I need to fix it, I definitely will. But I think you sent me the wrong date, bro. Hold on. Before we go, let me check you out. That way, if I'm wrong, I can apologize. And if you're wrong, I can front your ass out in true Black Moon Lilith and Virgo fashion. Look, you over here doing the math in my email. Don't be sending me email math problems, bro. Hey, hold on. I'm trying to find your email. Hold on. Yes, you sent August 4th. Look, there's your email. Hey, you sent me the wrong date, so don't be sending me. Hey, go back and look at the emails. I'm finna front you out in front of everybody. Hold up. This is my other device, so it be tripping. I ain't trying to do your government name. Never mind. Fam, you sent me the wrong birthday, bro. You put August 4th. Yeah, you fucked up. Hey, he fucked up. He fucked up. And now he in my email doing math. When he the one that needs to be on his whiteboard. Like I tell my wife, bro, I love you, but I'm never wrong. I just did the problems that were set before me. So I guess you expect me to do double the work after you fucked up, right? When I already discounted you, right? Hey, see how you did me? You should have front me out. You said, nah, something's fucked up. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Yeah, I'm on your ass. I still love you, but I'm on your ass. You my peoples. See, when I thought you was a 7, it had me scared a little bit. That's why I rushed and did your shit. So nah, this bro is a 7. This nigga might be real serious about his shit. Let me go ahead, cut him in front of everybody else. But now you back. I don't know what we're gonna do. We're gonna have to make a talk. But nah, you at 33. Jesus got you. I still love you though. We'll talk about it though. I'm not scared of a 33. I'm not scared of no 33. I'm not scared of no 33. I'm not scared of no 33. I'm scared of a 7. I'm scared of a 7. I'm not scared of no 33. I'm a master number 11 myself. It's the 7. 7s are serious. But I'm just playing. 7s are serious motherfuckers. with a lot of sevens, they got a lot of Capricorn energy. A lot of sevens have Capricorn energy. But I love y'all. I'm finna go. We'll catch you next time. Y'all keep it trio until then. All right.